Yeah, another day, another Marvel project
Oh, Sony this time. Fun?
from Sony.
Yay.
Yeah, those three Venom movies apparently all of that took place in 1 year.
One. I think there's a time jump between like the second one and the third one.
Nope. According to
Ugh,
Venom, they've only been together for 1 whole year.
jeez. Could be worse, I guess. I mean, at least it's not like 2 days.
Throwback to Megamind.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, and if you guys were expecting anything out of that No Way Home stuff, yeah, nothing at
Uh,
all.
to be honest, it's for the best because MCU is really shit when it comes to handling multiverse.
So is Sony, but even if we get past that, um, it's just funny to me because it really is it is like the peak definition of we just did it because we want people to watch the movie and we're not really confident if people will watch it, so let's do this thing where we tie it into, oh, you need to watch Venom 2 to get into No Way Home. You watch No Way Home and then you see, oh, what happens to Venom, so I have to see the next Venom movie to continue on, and then yeah, nothing of that.
To be
I fucking
honest,
I fucking hate this company.
I'm gonna be honest. At the very least, they end like Eddie Brock's story here. It's like, I mean, they set up more stuff, but at the very least, they added.
Yeah, it. I will say, I wouldn't say this movie is like completely bad. I think there are definitely some decent ideas. I think it's very basic with what it goes for. Uh, to be fair, but it's just the
I
thing about
mean,
Sony movies.
yeah. To be honest, I think this is like the best Marvel thing this year, and probably like the last 3 years.
Oh my god.
Uh, is your mic okay?
Um. Yeah. Hold on.
Oh well. So yeah, Venom 3. So yeah, by the way, we have a Kraven the Hunter starting like a month later.
Yeah, in December.
Ugh, God.
Oh, yeah, and that movie is to be rated R. After
Uh,
you've been asking for that for Venom for a long time, and yeah, no, this Craven movie gets to be rated R. Fuck.
uh, yeah. God.
Uh, but yeah, before we get started, welcome back to another Reviews Corp podcast. I'm Red Devilos Reviews. I'm with Unity Review and Analysis. Uh, this is kind of a special day because today is actually our 1 year anniversary of our podcast.
Yay! Remember Sex Education season 4? Yeah, neither do the world.
Yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate Sex Education season 4 was, well, I mean, Sex Education fell off a while ago, so it's not like that was the turning point, but you know,
Yeah, but
it is what it is.
yeah. Uh, so much fun. So much shitty franchises got destroyed. Don't you love it? I certainly don't.
Yeah, man. Next week, technically this later this week, we're gonna talk about something good. So just keep
Yep.
your ears out for that.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
and probably the week after as well. I love the penguin.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and Agatha ended. So
Well, I haven't even finished that show yet, so oh well.
I
No,
just stopped.
yay. I mean, I probably just got finished it like before our next Marvel thing, just to see like just to catch up if there anything they got fuck it up. Surprisingly, they always fuck up the things that you never realized.
Yeah. Speaking of fuck ups, so The Last Dance. Um, it's the third film of the Venom trilogy. Uh, as we said, everything took place in 1 year. So 2018 to 2024, but that was all in 1 year according to the universe. Which okay, fine, whatever. Um, what a bizarre franchise overall. It's actually fascinating how we just it's just the bare minimum of like we got a symbiote and Eddie Brock together. Who cares about anything related to Eddie Brock? I mean that the whole reporter thing was like in the first movie and that's just gone.
I mean,
That
they
whole stuff about like oh symbiotes are not compatible with humans kind of a thing except for Eddie and Venom, they have like they're like the special one, but then in this movie you have like a bunch of symbiotes latching onto humans just fine. So
uh, to be
there's that.
fair, even the first movie, the Venom possesses a lot of people, but
But a lot of them start dying. Wasn't that
yeah,
the thing?
remember like the Venom has to travel from Malaysia to US in like
For 6 months.
yeah.
All those 6 months memes came back.
Yeah,
Uh
so even
yeah.
the not even the first movie, it's like consistent with that standard.
Yeah. My other thing that really pisses me off about Sony in general is that all of these movies, all of them, Venom, Morbius, Madam Web. I'm sure Craven will be in that mix too. It really is just we have the rights to Spider-Man characters, and we just need to do as much as we can out of them. Like fuck quality of any kind. Uh, but I guess we can expand on that a little bit more later.
I mean, when it comes to like writing, this is like they actually put effort in it. So wasn't which is like more I can say for a lot of Marvel things nowadays. Holy
The movie
shit!
starts off with Null, like my name is Null, and you're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
No,
Like
yeah, I don't need to, but thank you. I mean, to be honest, I don't even. He only has like 3 scenes, including the post-credit scene.
uh yeah, yeah. And so Null was actually created in 2018, so the same year as when Venom 1 came out. So it's not like this character is like rich of history. Not a lot of people like the character outside of edgy people. Um, I mean, it was funny when the MCU has access to Gore, who is very tied to Null, and they don't use him at all, which is fair. Makes sense, I guess.
Wait, what
Um,
Gore is fucking. It's like connected to Null.
yeah, his Necro Sword is the sword that he uses is from Null.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Um, it's not like I mean Love and Thunder had a lot of other issues outside of that.
I
Um,
mean, I mean, I'm glad he only has like 3 scenes because Kang the Conqueror situation that would be even worse.
I I can see that. I guess my thing is like what's annoying is like this whole movie the villain is like it's not even Null, it's his dogs.
I mean,
The Xenophage's dogs. Like that was the threat.
yeah. I mean, I just
Um
have problem with the history after knowing like how powerful those dogs are. It was like so like it's like okay, the history is like really fake. So he's evil. His children betrayed him. Trapped here. Done. I was like, oh, how do you get trapped after witnessing how powerful your dogs are?
Kang being quietly shelled will never not be funny to me. It's so like it's so crazy that they're gonna put like Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom, and he's not gonna apply until the last 10% of the multiverse saga, meaning everything that's happened with Kang and that setup and that attempt. Like even if it's not good, they still tried, The fact that all of that is gone just to focus on this last phase, just to eke out the rest of the multiverse saga is fucking crazy.
I mean, I'm sure they actually explained that in Loki season 2. Like, they got defeated off screen.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
They should have just recasted.
I mean,
Just recast and then just take your L and then move forward.
I'm gonna be honest. When the fuck is an actor bigger than the character?
This has been such a common thing now, especially post. I honestly, I'd want to say post Chadwick Boseman's passing. If I'm going to be honest,
MCU is
uh,
so insane.
yeah. I mean, here you are with the Penguin recasting John Turturro with Mark Strong.
I mean,
They still
yeah.
need the character, and John can't come back. You still got to use the character. So
And
I
Mark
don't
is
know.
only in like 2 scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, John Turturro is a fucking moron for saying like, "Oh, you see, I don't like to beat woman." Was like, wait, do you remember what the fuck did you do in the Batman?
Yeah. We'll talk about that in
Yeah,
2
I mean,
weeks.
oh, don't worry, Ron. I don't mind writing. It's just John Turturro is really cringe.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah. Yeah, it also makes Loki even worse than it already was. Yes.
Yeah. So, and no summons portals that can basically universe jump. By the way,
Yeah.
oh my
Null is a
god.
multiversal character, so
I mean, they didn't really explain why I can't no just escape with the portals, but I guess okay, this is like assumptions from officials. He's being tied up in this chair, so he can't just portal himself out. Maybe.
he's basically imprisoned by the symbiotes in their treason. And then I guess like it's like his lapdogs.
Wait, how do you create the
It's
dogs?
um it's not a side of Marvel comics that I'm super in tuned with. I just know like from other people's reactions to it, like nobody really likes the whole stuff with Null and Clintar and all the other symbiote stuff. Because a lot of the times, like first off, like the whole symbiote thing was not really a thing. A lot of it came from some different interpretations of Venom. People like those interpretations of Venom. Like for example, the black suit itself was not meant to be like a living being. It was just a black suit during the Secret Wars storyline. And then I think one adaptation makes Venom like specifically like it channels like Peter Parker's like anger. And then like, it has a life of its own and then things of that nature. Eddie Brock. These kind of things that come later down the line and it kind of makes what Venom is to this day. But then they have this whole like we have this whole symbiote planet, we have all things like that. And it's one of those things like where you explain a lore where you really didn't have to. Just let an alien thing be an alien thing. It's like it's alien, basically.
To be fair, this movie doesn't explain anything. Just know it's like really powerful. Phantoms are his children. They're still technically evil because they like to destroy planets. And actually, Riot wants to take over the planet. Just Riot. To be honest, I don't remember that much when it comes to the first Phantom movie.
Yeah, I mean, also to the thing with Venom movies, it's like you can really tell that they're really trying to force a villain into the movies that isn't like because obviously they can't use Spider-Man. Riot was. I mean, luckily they had access to Carnage, but God, I fucking hate Carnage.
I mean,
how he was done.
yeah, kind of. Even the second movie is like, oh fuck, let's just have fun with ourselves. I mean, it's stupid, but it's like at the same
Bro, it's like I'm sorry, man, but like the fact that Carnage dies by taking a bite out of his head is stupid. It's really stupid. But
yeah,
it's a stupid franchise. So what else should I expect?
it's
Yeah.
like second movie is like really bad. It just
Yeah, and then it's actually kind of funny too because like I think one of the points of the second movie, Let There Be Carnage, is like the whole thing was like, oh, Carnage and uh Woody Harrelson, because he's not really Cletus. He's like they have like the whole point of that relationship is that they don't have any symbiosis together. They're like because Carnage wants to be like a killer, but Cletus is like more of the simp type. To be fair, Naomi Harris, I understand, makes sense.
But
But that's a part of Cletus's character that he doesn't give a fuck about anybody, and they're the ones who have the best symbiosis relationship. Eddie and Venom aren't supposed to, but for the sake of switching the narrative, I guess fine.
I mean, the only
It just
Carnage
makes
thing,
it just makes Cletus more boring to me.
I don't know.
But
The only Carnage thing I've seen is from Death Battle, so okay. Even they that approach, even there was like, oh, they're just insane people. They like killing, so it's like, okay.
the symbiote lore is so convoluted these days. Venom, get in the rocket. No, we won't let you take this world. Then die. That was peak dialogue.
Actually, rewatched that scene before I jumped into this podcast. I was like, oh my god, I don't think that movie makes any sense. I mean, there's still like something that is not completion. It's like Eddie and Venom's relationship is not too bad.
Yeah, I guess my thing is like a lot of this is just in name only in terms of that. I mean, my thing about Venom and Eddie in general, like if I go from comic side first, is that like one of the biggest things about them is like Eddie is essentially a character who he feels like he was wronged, especially like when things weren't going his way and things of that nature, and how he essentially channels the anger that he has, but he uses that to help protect the innocence that he felt like he lost. Uh, and then with the help of Venom, like Venom is kind of like yeah. So Venom comes off of something like Peter Parker. He has the powers of Peter Parker, but like he is like essentially still like because that's the thing about symbiotes in general is like they basically take the skills of what their previous owner had, and then they can apply more in the next symbiosis kind of thing. So obviously, Venom doesn't have that in this universe because there's no Spider-Man. Uh, I mean, there's only so much you can do with that. Um, but yeah, my biggest thing about Venom, what's annoying to me is that Eddie really is pretty useless because like they pretty much treat it like Venom is like his own thing, and he's the one who's doing all the actions while Eddie is just kind of sitting inside doing nothing. I mean, they occasionally do the whole like they do half transformations where like Eddie is like kind of kicking around and Venom is like using his own like tentacle hands to like attack and stuff like that. I guess it's like technically there is stuff like that, but it is like essentially like what if like you had an Iron Man suit, but Tony isn't doing anything. It's just Jarvis doing all the work. It's kind of like that.
Oh,
But
yeah. Okay, I don't really have much to say about like Venom.
Cletus and his symbiotes are supposed to be so connected that they say "I" instead of "us," and the movie does the complete opposite. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty much. I guess I don't remember the second movie that much. I thought the second movie is like basically just filler. I mean, it expands more when it comes to Eddie and Venom's relationship, but that's kind of it. By the way, do you guys remember there's like a screaming lady in like the second movie and no one talks about it anymore? So I was like, wait, is there a superpower people in like Venom first?
Yeah, she's a mutant.
Okay, so my only thing is like, oh, I guess the government covers it up. Which, to be fair, this is actually supported by this movie.
Michelle Williams is not in this movie either.
Oh, thank fuck. She needs better roles. And to be honest, I don't even even if they bring her back, I don't even know what
Oh,
she
you're
gonna
talking about
do.
Shriek, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know that she killed herself in the comics, so I guess they want to avoid that.
Yeah, when I saw Juno Temple, I first thought it was Michelle Williams. It's like, but then it's like, oh, and then I was also thinking like, what is Juno Temple doing this movie? Honestly, And that's kind of my other thing that annoys me about the Sony franchise is that they just cast random actors, like random like top tier actors, but it's like, oh, what the fuck are you doing in this movie?
Uh,
Kind of a thing.
I mean, I don't even mind all the actors. I mean, the acting seems better this time.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it's just random. Like Chiwetel Ejiofor, I think that's the biggest one. Is like, oh, you got the Mordo actor, which is fine. But I was just like, what are you doing in this movie, man?
To be fair, she's like one of the better characters in the entire Sonyverse. I wish I was kidding.
Juno?
No, Chiwetel Edgerton. So
Oh, yeah. Rex Tyrannosaurus Strickland, but he doesn't become Tyrannosaurus.
wait, what? That's he's gonna become a dinosaur?
Oh no, he's another symbiote. He just calls himself Tyrannosaurus.
What a worst. Oh well.
Yeah. I mean they have like the other symbiotes in here too, like Agony, the purple one, Lasher, the green one. But they don't really not really too much here. They also brought back Risa Fons, but like he's just playing a hippie. Uh,
Hey,
I'm sure they put him in the trailers just to make people think, "Oh, is this Lizard?" Or no, it's not. It's just another character.
I mean, to be fair, they actually did something with him. I'm actually surprised. I mean, it's still stupid, but he did some. They did something with him.
All three of these series titles are wrong. Eddie Brock is not Venom. Morbius is Venom. That's why he says I am Venom in his own
Oh
movie.
fuck yeah!
All
Morbius is
three.
in the Venom universe. Yeah,
So
they.
is Vulture.
All right. I mean, at the very least, like Morbius has like superpowers, so I was like, I guess. So, I don't know, because like if you remember like the first scenes, like it takes in like the uh Earth, okay, the MCU universe, sacred timeline. Fuck it. It's like, oh, so in this universe, there's these super people. I mean? I guess the Screaming Lady in the second movie is not just super people.
Yeah, I'm sure they couldn't call her. I don't remember what they did with her because, like, I know she can't be a mutant because rules. But she's a mutant, but not a mutant, basically.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, and to be honest, I kind of like one of the lines. It's like the bartender was like, "Dude, the purple alien, Thanos, stabbed away my family after collecting my stones." And like Andy was like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah,
I'm surprised. Does Venom first actually acknowledge that? That's my surprise.
that is true. We don't really get too much of that in the MCU products.
Yeah. But
Um, I don't know. My whole thing about this whole trilogy is that I cannot stand Tom Hardy's like stupid accent in this movie. Like it's so inconsistent. It's for all three of them, so not just this one. But like he's like talking kind of like this, and, like he feels like he's gonna like constipate at times, and then I don't know. It's just like the way he talks is just really annoying. Um,
yeah.
it sometimes it takes me out of the scenes like sometimes because like some people are trying to be serious and like he's talking in such a goofy way, and I get like because he has another being in his body, but I feel like at some point you kind of get used to it.
Yeah. I mean, oh, by the way, the scene established that he's drunk, so that's actually kind of important.
Yeah, but it says he has a hangover all the whole movie, so
Yeah. Oh well. But
I don't.
but but yeah.
Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget he's an English actor.
To be fair, you're surprised how many people you forgot those they are not American.
Yeah.
It's
Like I knew he's not American. I just forgot he was British specifically. But yeah, his accent was just like all over the place for all the movies.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
And Venom. Okay, Eddie. Okay, so Eddie teleport back to like the his Venom first,
his own universe in Mexico.
and the
He was there because he was on the run after
yeah.
the murder of Patrick Mulligan, played by Stephen Graham. Another cast of like, why the fuck are you in this franchise? Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
but I'm gonna stop doing that. Um,
So, but the first thing he said is, "I'm done with the multiverse shit."
yeah,
I mean, same. I hope Sony is like actually means that instead of just funny.
is that the same reason why they cast the Mordo actor? I
Uh,
honestly, I don't think so. I feel like with Lizard, it's a little bit easier to have that because, like, people have been really trying to make it so that this has to be connected to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. It isn't.
no, oh, I mean, here's the thing. I actually don't mind more. I mean, I actually like Chiwetel Edgerton in this movie. He's actually gave a shit. I'm surprised he didn't just like, oh, I need a paycheck. I was like, no, he actually did act.
Yeah,
Even I'll say that to Reese Infant.
I can imagine a Venom v Morbius, Dawn of Venom, or what have you. Oh man, well, not maybe not after the end of this movie. Um,
No.
he faded away back into his world in No Way Home, but here he was stuck through a null portal. So I guess Null actually sent him back.
What?
That's that is kind of
Huh?
right because like the portal that he teleports into, it's not like a Doctor Strange portal. It's something else. It's like pretty much the same effects that like Null has. I forgot how did he transport into the MCU world though in
Uh,
the post credit scene.
it's like some spells happen and everything just changed. I actually need to rewatch the ending of Venom 2 for some. No Way Home. No Way Home. Eddie Brock.
I think Hop is right though. I think both both forms of teleporting between universes were different, like in terms of the effects that they used.
Weird
But
because
the reason, yeah,
they actually changed how it ends in No Way Home. Holy shit.
but the reason why those two would fight is because I am Venom. No Way Home has no relevance to this movie, like at all.
No, no. I'm just referencing No Way Home because like they actually changed the effects, but I don't know. I guess it's because they can't do it in their own Sony movie because Marvel copyrights.
Which is annoying. But like, there really is no reason for Venom to be in No Way Home in the first place. I just don't understand. Uh, and it's not like you can't even do like the basics of maybe he sees the spider logo on Spider-Man's chest and inspires to make a logo on the Venom because Venom has no logo on his himself. So some people were thinking that maybe this is the way that Spider he'll Venom will get a logo on his chest. He doesn't get it at all in any of these movies, which fine, but it's just some of those iconographies of Venom that are not being utilized.
Uh, yeah,
But
but
uh, but yeah, going back to the scene, so he gets teleported back into his world. He sees on the news that he is well, I mean, after your Venom shenanigans of making tequila, um, it's the same guy, same bar, just different universe.
I mean,
Um,
by the way, this
mhm.
movie is like really funny to me. Like, ironically, fuck. I was like, they actually just like, fuck it. Let's just have Eddie like and Venom just got drunk and just destroy this guy's bar to make a drink.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So the funny thing to me about this whole movie is that Eddie is already on the run and he's already in Mexico, so he's already outside of jurisdiction and all that stuff. But he's like, no, let's actually go to New York and find this guy who I can blackmail to change my identity. And yeah, that's why he wants to go back to America. So yeah, while he's safe in Mexico already from the feds, he decides to go back into America. I just thought that was very silly. Um,
It is a weird situation. It's like it's a lot of well. Oh well, I mean, it's just that logic is like because apparently there's a report that's like, oh, by the way, even in Mexico, they're chasing after you now. The reporters are here, so it's like, oh, I relief. And they're like, yeah, I'm gonna watch and then it's like,
You know what I just realized? There's this person in the cameras like watching Venom the entire time and talking to Rex over comms, and we never see who that guy was in the green screen room.
oh, wow,
There was like this guy like talking in the shadows like the entire time, and then at one point he has a conversation with Chiwetel. It's like you have my permission to attack or something like that. So it's like we never got to see who that was or who Rex is like in cahoots with.
uh,
That was just something I just realized right now.
yep,
Um, but yeah, so you know,
yeah.
Eddie's going along the streets.
And yeah, by the
Um,
way, Phantom said because it's important, I want to see the Statue of Liberty. So yeah,
yeah, just by looking off and seeing a Statue of Liberty in the bar, it's a fine motivation. Um, yeah, so they head out. Um,
yeah.
they basically basically go into they hear like a noise.
No, there's someone screaming. So okay, this is like so insane because after you finish this part, I was like, who the fuck is screaming? It's just a bunch of dogs.
Well, it's weird because like it sounded like a human scream.
Yeah, it is. It's not like a dog barking. It's just a human scream.
Yeah. So they go inside, they go through the dark and go inside and they find there's a illegal dog kennel for fighting dogs. Then a bunch of guys come in. He's like, you don't want to bring out my dark side, and that back and forth kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I mean it's fun with like Eddie and Venom was like, ah, we're a lethal protector. So it's like, and they're like drunk, so it's a lot. But this guy is like stupid. Was like, where the fuck are the guards?
They are the guards.
Yeah, and if like they all approach him after he already went into the room. It's like, do you guys not guard the room or fucking lock the door?
Well, to be fair, they did lock the door. Venom uses his super hand to break it.
Hmm. I
Uh,
guess,
because like
yeah.
Eddie does say like you mind, and then with pleasure, and then he super hands to break the lock. Uh,
Yeah, and then they just fight.
yeah, you got your wombo combo of your fight. They open the dog kennels so that the dogs can also help out. Um,
Yeah, I mean they just it's like cool, I guess. It's like a lot I mean it's just usual stuff. I mean it's like, oh, it's just like Eddie and Venom just got drunk, fight over some guys who there's no way they got beat Eddie because because he can heal himself and Venom mode.
because a New York judge would certainly be able to handle a case in California. Yeah, I didn't understand the logic.
No, no,
And then
neither
got
do
the order mixed up. It's new identity, then flee the country, not flee the country, then get a new ID.
I.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
No, I'm telling you, like when I was watching this movie, there was so many instances where I just kept saying, "What the fuck?"
no.
Um, yeah,
I was like, oh, this is so stupid. Let me just laugh. I mean, this actually makes me laugh. It's like some cartoonish people was like, "Oh, I don't know that you are the guy who's killed the cops," even though it got reported low. Or like, and then they
yeah.
just
I mean,
try
I
to
guess you can
threaten him.
argue that international reporting and all this stuff. Uh, but yeah, so after the end of the fight, Venom eats off the heads of the four guys. They free the dogs. there's this running gag about his shoes not existing, and he has to get new shoes and all this stuff. It's all right. Um, that's kind of how that ends, and then while like Eddie is like unsuspecting, there is a xenophage behind, which the xenophage is like huge as fuck, and it's not like it's silent either. But I don't know. I guess nobody notices. Um, but yeah, that will be important for later.
Yeah, so that's
So
yeah.
the xenophage is particularly tracking Eddie and Venom, but we're not sure why at this point in time. Um, so then we get introduced to a bunch of new characters that we've never seen before, and that includes Rex Strickland, as we said, played by
To the
Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's a soldier that oversees Imperium, a government operation at the site for the soon-to-be decommissioned Area 51 for the capture and study of other symbiotes that have fallen on Earth. I've been thinking about it. It's like I feel like this whole Area 51 thing probably happened because of the memes of where people ran to Area 51 and tried to Sonic run. God, we had us our
that's
our country's full of stupid people.
yeah. I mean, so yeah, so they just introduce him, and this is actually a trailer shot. Watch that now just covers the symbiote, which
Yeah,
everyone just thought, oh, No Way Home is meaningless, and then it turns out it's just the Phantom Force universe. So the Phantom is still exists in the No Way Home, so they can just set up any Phantom stuff later.
right. So actually, I that is something like I wanted to clarify. Is that Venom piece left behind? Is that actually in the Venomverse side, or is that from the No Way Home side?
And No Way Home side, but Rax covered
So
the
I
one in the
guess he,
Phantom
I
Force
guess he
one.
just, so I guess he just did it. So I guess Venom left behind two pieces, then
Yeah.
one in the No Way Home verse and one in this bar.
Yep.
Which why would you do it that way?
I guess it's just because I'm gonna be honest. I just probably just off bait for a trailer.
Um, I don't know, because that means Venom did. That means Venom gave off offsprings two times. Um, that's. I mean, I guess
I guess it's
there's not really
plausible.
much I can say about it, but
I
it's
mean,
just
my
it's just interesting.
I'm just surprised like how fast Rex travel because the time between like this and like like he got reported and then he just went into a bar is like what 10 minutes at most 10-20 minutes and he just teleported to Mexico.
I saw this like I was seeing this the entire. I was saying this the entire time in the movie. It's like, oh, it's like the Xenophage goes to Las Vegas and attacks, and then all of a sudden the CIA is there too.
Hmm.
Well, it was happening throughout the movie. But yeah, this was one of the first times. Um, but yeah, they uh
He just
Rex
take
Rex
Rex
just takes the bar train to the bartender.
so he
Uh,
just covering a lot of like Phantom shit.
mhm.
Uh, I, I guess. I mean, it's so my problem is like, what the fuck's the Life Foundation not shut down already?
Which foundation?
Life Foundation from the first movie.
Life Foundation.
Yeah, that's the name of the company. You know the guy who riots.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh, not sure.
yeah. Holy shit! If U.S. is covering this up, you think that they won't allow like evil company run this,
Maybe they got new management or something.
or the Life Foundation cover it up as well.
Yeah. So I guess like a few other things. Like, there's a lot of exposition here. It's like, oh, remember the last movie or the last two movies? Like for example, Mulligan. He survived his encounter. with Carnage and is captured, and he's being left for dead by another symbiote. Um, and he's not able to function by himself, Mulligan. So they have to put the symbiote back into Mulligan in order for him to like talk. And Mulligan is supposed to be Toxin in the comics, but here he's like not. He's green, where Toxin is red. It's not a big deal, but it was just
Yeah.
I was thinking throughout this movie, it's like, why is he in this movie? And
No.
honestly,
Yeah.
and then you see him in the third act, sort of, and so he was just here to give exposition, really.
Basically, I mean, he could have just fight in the third act, but oh well.
Yeah, I mean, like him being alive didn't really do much for the story.
No, it just
Um,
get
because
back
he's
to yeah.
yeah, because he's not Toxin. He's not outside of like this location until circumstances happen. So it's all things like that, and then
Uh,
we'll talk about his ending later.
yes, it's so weird. But yeah, I mean the next thing is like Juno Temple. He has a dream about like his brother, which is apparently a comic character, got died by lightning.
Yeah. So the character's name is Theodore Payne. Apparently, they made it so that character is the brother, and then this is a OC character, basically made to be a sister, kind of a thing. I'm not going to pretend like I really care about that. I just found it funny how they utilized this backstory in the story of this movie, especially in the third act. There's not really much to say, I think.
Yeah,
She goes back to work.
it just reasons why she becomes a NASA scientist or something.
Yeah, it's basically she's living up his dream of wanting to work in Area 51 and with aliens and stuff like that. They say that his symbiote left him for dead and then gave him a symbiote they had there. So I guess the actual toxin symbiote is still out there. Another letdown. Without a doubt, the best part of Eddie and Venom saying in unison, and now, bad guy, we will become Venom the Last Dance. Yeah.
So
That was, I guess, the one joke that was kind of fine was, we are Venom. No, we are Venom. We are Venom. We got to work on that.
so for context, it's actually they actually did that in the first movie, but here's the thing: they are drunk, so it's also kind of fine with that.
Also, Venom is just very excited.
Pretty much.
Yes. So yeah, they go down to Area 55 because I guess it's because like Area 51. Okay, so this is definitely a commentary on Area 51 in the real world then, because like people have started treating it like a tourist attraction and stuff like that. So they're just decommissioning the place. They show this introduction to this whole acid thing, which will be important for later.
Wait, what? People actually started Area 51 in real life?
People are stupid. This is like a consistent theme. This happened during COVID, I believe.
Wait, what? I thought this movie made it up. But
No,
it's
no, no,
actually a
no.
real thing.
Operation. You remember the Area 51 trying to raid the Area 51 and how cringe that was.
Fucking hell. Okay, actually that's less stupid than I thought for
Yeah,
this movie.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was meant to be a commentary based on that, but like not like it's saying anything. It's just like it's using it as a reference or something. Uh,
My
and then
problem
obviously the hippie family is kind of like another version of that. But
is
we'll get back to them. Yeah.
yeah, so my thing is like they're like the Area 51 is like decommissioning from like up in 3 days. I was like, holy shit. Are people leaving already? Because how they decommission is like destroying buildings and shit. I was like, wait, why the fuck are people still working inside? Just move all your.
because apparently they're in Area 55, which is underground. Which that's kind of what I'm wondering too. Is like so Area 55 is just Area 51, but underground or
What
like
the
under the but it's also under the facility of Area 51. So I don't really get understand that either. What is the purpose of that then?
No, it's like okay, even if we buy that, I was like, how are you gonna enter Area 55? You still have to go through the same place, like the elevator go underground.
Yeah, it's not like it's in a new location or anything. And then you have like this whole acid trap that's on top of Area 51. Uh, I mean, I guess acid won't go through all the way down to Earth and into Area 55, sure, but I don't really see the purpose of keeping it in the same location. Like, first off, like it's already a tourist attraction. Why would you put Area 55 in the same place but underground? That doesn't really make any sense to me. Don't you want it to be more discreet? Uh, that was just some of the thoughts I had.
Yeah, it's like the weirdest.
Yeah, the
I mean,
Naruto
so
running rush, the Area
yeah,
51,
I mean the way that
the
Juno
Born
Temple get.
ancient me.
Yeah, and so the way that Juno Temple get into like it's like through a waterfall, which is like still near Area 51. It's not like completely in Area 51, but at the same time, it's like, what the fuck will you even place that? Just place it in a different location. Place the entire facility in a different location. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. I only had two thoughts in this movie. What the fuck am I watching? And this Sadie Christmas is really attractive. Um, those are two thoughts I had for this entire movie.
No, I was like, this is so funny. The Juno Temple's backstory is so funny. And then this shit like the decommissioning is so funny. It was like I was literally laughing while watching.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, so basically, they have this conversation with, oh, and Juno is like just talking, like every line of hers is like really funny to me because like every time she talks is like, oh, this is my backstory, this is things about my brother, this is things that, do you know what he thought, this is what he thought, like this is like basically the extent of her dialogue. And Rex is like kind of like, I don't care. uh
Yeah,
but then it's like, then they have the conversation with Mulligan, and apparently their purpose is to the purpose of the symbiotes were here because they're afraid of something that came from where they came from, basically, or they were here for sanctuary, sort of a thing. um and Strickland is ordered to bring Venom down. So things like that. And
yeah. So
meanwhile, what's going on outside is that a plane is flying in the air, and so is Eddie and Venom on the side of the plane,
yeah, so
which
I
is
was
all in
like,
the trailers.
my question is, how do you get to the side of the plane? You still have to sneak into the airport and shit.
I guess it's like, I guess like you can go through the gates or like go over the gates or using his venom powers. Even then,
No one
it,
caught him.
that's a lot.
Yeah. Oh my
That
god.
yeah. Uh then he turns into Venom, and then all of a sudden that gets the Xenophage from Mexico to look up
Such
into the sky and find Venom that's on the ship. So that makes it clear for us that, okay, Venom being Venom is going to bring the entire Xenophage into its direction. And and this was the funny part, it jumps in the air, it does one jump in the air, and it's already like in the direction of like it's going to, it lands on the plane. So basically, it doesn't matter how far away they were, it was going to make it in one jump. And yeah, Venom is terrified. Um, they sort of fight it, but then it like, this is the thing that got me. It's like the the Xenophage goes through the rudder, and like you can see it like catching on fire and all that stuff. The plane is fine though. or maybe not. We don't know because they never talk about the plane ever again.
Mm, yeah, I mean, it's like the movie just played off. Oh, yeah, they're fine. They just the fucking alien just got cut by the turrets.
Yeah, but then we learn later that it can regenerate.
Yeah, it's like the weird. It's like so weird. I don't even understand what to do with that. It's like, I mean, they still
Shit.
have like, yeah. I mean, they have a joke was like, oh, this is like shittiest hangover ever. It's like, yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it's just fine. I mean, I have more to say when it comes to like Juno Temple and Rex something,
Yeah,
but
we shouldn't the Xenophage have rushed Venom when he was fighting the dog guys in the warehouse? So
uh,
the only thing I can say is that so technically the portal dropped like right after that. It's just convenient timing.
yeah, it's just convenient. That's my thing. He is not in this universe, in this planet, so he can't just do something like this.
So like once he leaves the so basically it's like you hear the sound effect. It's like once he leaves the dog caged place and is walking with the dogs, then you hear the portal sound. So that assumes that the Xenophage was coming in right after that. So it's just convenient how that
Yeah,
happened.
uh, yeah, that's the thing. It's like Phantom. It's like most of the movie is just Phantom outrunning government, this alien thing, and then we cut to Chiwetel and Juno just talking in the lab with
And
exposition guy.
my other thing too is like with this being a multiversal character, it's like oh, it's only one Xenophage that ends up in this universe. Also, it's one Venom in the entire multiverse that has this codex, which we'll get to.
Oh
Uh,
no,
yes,
yeah. So here's the thing: if you go through the backstory, there's just like 1,000 Venoms and
yeah,
thousands Xenophage.
yeah, but only one of them has the codex.
I mean, they can't explain, but oh well.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, I guess because Phantoms are not portrayed as good people. Like the symbiotes are not good people, but it's like, I guess it's a lot of I guess.
yeah.
So it's like, I mean, here's the thing. I don't mind Juno and Rex's dynamic at first because it's a lot of, the science guy just much more interested in the aliens and discovery, and the soldier guy is just like, no, we have to take out this threat. It's like there's like a lot of interesting things they could do with it.
Yeah, I just think like I don't know. For me, it's a little off because it's just so many new characters to introduce at once, and in this last movie too. By the way, um, that was kind of my thing. Is like there is just a lot of characters that you're supposed to care about for the big action scene at the end, essentially. Um, I don't know. It's I felt like it just lost a lot of focus when it came to that.
I mean, I think it's fine at first. It's like, oh, I mean, especially Rex is like he's just like feel as, oh, you have to take out the threat of alien, and the scientists just did nothing, and just like I want to explore it. Just actually a cool contrast. I mean, of course, what they did is mostly exposition.
Yes, that's mainly it.
Uh,
Um, so Venom explains to Eddie that the Xenophage that was the Xenophage. They were unleashed into the universe by Null, the creator of symbiotes, and they have to retrieve this codex, which was forged when the Venoms resurrects its host. And the reason why this has became a thing is because Eddie dies in the second movie, but Venom brings him back to life, and this is where I'm kind of confused now. So a codex is formed when a symbiote resurrects its host. Um, so what exactly? So I guess throughout the entire multiverse, because you have to remember the symbiotes are a multiversal thing now. Uh, so this only happened this one time with this particular Eddie and Venom, where and Eddie died and Venom brought him back to life, and that introduces the Codex.
yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess it could happen. I mean, it's a lot of guesswork in this movie. It's like because you can just assume assume that a lot of other fandoms don't want to do that because it will make the key to sort of bring other people back. That's my only theory. But here's the thing: what the fuck don't fandom just tell Eddie about this already? Like anytime in the second movie during No Way Home.
Uh, this is I don't know. There's just a lot of information going on here, and like factor in that this is only 1 year of their relationship together. Um,
Yeah, it's like here's it's even funnier. It's like what the fuck did no one did it now? Or is that a time jump I don't? Or is like the first scene takes place like thousands of years ago? Or like not thousands, just a year ago, and they only find it like just right now.
yeah, there's yeah. Um, what else? What else?
So
So Venom, like basically, he's fine with doing tendril stuff, but like he can't fully be Venom. Otherwise, the Xenophage will, uh, basically track him. So it just seems like an excuse not to have the full Venom CGI throughout the movie.
I
Which
mean,
honestly, I would say that the effects of this movie are really dated compared to the other two movies. So I will say that. Though to be fair, the second movie did have Andy Serkis, so that makes sense why it was better.
probably. And oh my god, and he
Right,
got
Andy Serkis is also playing Null.
to be fair, he and like Tom Hardy are like friends, and Tom Hardy got him to direct like Venom 2. So I guess they just like so he was like, hey, Andy Serkis, do you want to just get your paycheck by just sitting down, just say a bunch of words?
Yeah, I remember people think it was Norman Reedus, but I think it was just fan theories.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, after Andy Serkis was like, actually, yeah, probably. I mean, I'm kind of fine with the casting, I guess.
Yeah. So, but this is my other thing too. Is like, so Venom because so basically the logic is that because so the Codex can basically free Null from the prison that symbiotes trapped him long ago. But because Venom revived Eddie once before, now he carries a Codex that Xenophage has to track down to Earth and all that stuff. So again, going back to the multiversal thing, is there any instance of like how anybody in the multiverse maybe once had like first off, I have to understand like okay, so you're bringing somebody back to life. Like a symbiote is using its power to bring somebody back to life. Once it does that, that brings in the codex to that symbiote human. I just don't really understand how that works. So it's like okay, so like let's say in another universe you have like I don't know, like Flash Thompson's anti venom, and like Flash Thompson dies and anti venom brings him back to life. Does that mean he has a codex now because he brought Flash Thompson back to life?
So, but here's the thing: how No is referred to as constantly just a universal threat. So it's weird that they're like, it's like, oh, he can do multiverses. So it's like,
Yeah, and then it's like also too is like if you have a codex that is that is tied to like the life force of one person and its symbiote host, then it's like okay, then why? How does like bringing a person back to life bring in the codex? Or it's like why would a codex not be like one individual or like one? But because the codex is not an object, it's
it's a
essentially
life force.
it's a life force. Uh, it just doesn't really make any sense to me.
I don't even understand how the fuck the log of this person is like some codex. It's like a lot of it just like fuck it.
And then it's like, and then it goes back to honestly, let's throw this into the ring now. So let's throw in the Deadpool 3. So what if he dies of natural causes? Does that release the codex so that
Uh,
Null is free? If Eddie died of natural causes, basically.
no, here's the thing: the aliens have to take Eddie back to No first. He can't just like, oh, he's there, so I'm gonna release him.
Yeah.
So
Um,
it's not like they have to. So it's not like they can just do that.
Hmm.
I just don't understand why the fuck is a prison being made like by codex. You know that you don't need a fucking lock for a place, right? Mm, You don't need a key for a prison, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's like what exactly is it that so killing Venom is what will allow Null to come to Earth or like come outside of his prison essentially, and that's pretty much what the post-credit scene is kind of entailing. Uh,
No.
one second.
Uh.
In the comics, it was that everyone who's ever had a symbiote attached to them, whoever has a symbiote attached to them, has a codex. I don't.
Actually, I don't understand the post-credit scene because the post-credit scene is like this is the thing they established. Either Venom died or if Eddie died, the codex will be released, will be destroyed. So I think it's just the credit scene doesn't really mean anything. It's just like, oh, Venom died. It's to be honest, I think it's like
You have
another.
lost your hero.
Yeah,
Now I
that.
will return in Avengers: Secret Wars.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the post-credit scene is full of shit, but I don't think that's a problem.
It's just goofy. There's definitely got to be a fourth wall breaker kind of aspect here because I don't know who the hell he's talking to.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, that's exposition, and they found a horse.
yes. So that Venom horse that they've been showing a lot in the trailers. Yeah, that is only there for the pretty much all of the scene of the horse is in all the trailers. Just like he's running and it's hurting Tom Hardy's balls. Uh, and then it's gone. That's
Yeah,
about
I
it.
mean, so yeah, I mean so I hear some reviews it's like, wait, so if Phantom possessed the horse, why don't those Bucky things just track the horse?
So the rule is that it has to be Eddie and Venom together, because then,
So
because like Eddie is the one who has the codex in his body. So if Venom takes over a horse, then uh, Eddie is like not being possessed by Venom. So that's why the codex is not being applied there. That's what I understand. But at that point, it's like, okay, then why don't you just have Eddie hang around some other animal and just let Venom operate himself with the other animal or another host of some kind. Keep Eddie attached, but then at least Venom can at least operate without having to, sacrifice his powers to help out in situations and stuff like that.
yeah, so it's but to be fair, they explain it in the way that he's stranded in like a wasteland that could not be found, so he can't just constantly do that.
Yeah. Um.
And so it's just a bunch of jokes. It's like, if I, when I go off this horse, I'm gonna kick you motherfucker.
Wait. So by this logic operation, does that also mean like Peter Parker has a codex as well? Just to clarify.
Actually, I think I actually like this more, the movie more. I mean, they try to explain, you have to die and then just attach yourself to a codex.
Um. I mean, to be fair, nobody really likes the multiverse null stuff in the comics, so it's not like I'm gonna take it as law. Um, but yeah. So, I mean, what else is it? I guess like this is around the time where they meet the hippie family.
Ye-
On their way, like
There's like a lot of intercutting between the scenes between Juno Temple and like Trinidad Edgerton.
yeah,
So it's so in this scene he just like Trinidad was like, oh, it's weird. This is not safe haven. They're not here for safe haven. It's like, oh, he just and then Juno just like shows him a place that they capture all the Phantom symbiotes from the media. Not so not okay. So here's the thing. So Rex bring a bunch of symbiotes to like Juno Temple in this layer, and Rex said the meteor bring a lot of Venom symbiotes, and they all survive. And Trudeau is actually there in the first movie. How? So it's
The
so
power of
it,
flashbacks.
yeah. So here's the thing: if that's the case, Life Foundation should not even happen.
My thing is like it probably got rebranded
Yeah.
or under new management or something. Because essentially, it is like a useful thing, I guess. It's just that the guy was bad. Let's just replace the guy with somebody better. Um, but there isn't really any focus on that either. Um,
It's. I mean, it's just. I don't even know what to say about this. My problem is like because this scene exists, so like Rex is already in the crash site, so he knows that the people who got killed are like from like Life Foundation. So he would be like, dude, you have to stop Life Foundation. Because they are probably we should investigate Life Foundation just in case he has any symbiotes. But but the first movie couldn't happen if that's the case.
mhm. Um, actually, the first thing that happens, no, before he meets the family, he gets ambushed by Strickland and his team. Uh, and then Venom. Basically, they both get separated because Strickland just like fires the
Sonic Wave.
sonic waves. Which honestly, like the movies, like these movies are inconsistent every time. Like whenever they do the sonic waves and the fire being an issue for Venom.
Yeah, in the first movie, it's like it's never separated this power this fast.
Yeah,
But I mean the only leeway I guess like it's military tag, I guess, so they can just focus the Sonic Pulse to do something like this, maybe.
yeah, and then they obviously wanted to get some of the Venom animals again, like the Venom fish, the Venom frog,
Hmm. Yeah,
things like that.
so yep, so basically Eddie just kill one of the humans.
Yeah, he's like horrified that he did that.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, and then by the way, the Venom got tied up by a net. Yes, this liquid got tied up by a net. Lol.
yeah, though he eventually attaches back onto Eddie because Eddie's about to fall down the waterfall. Uh, he's saying don't
Don't
turn, but
transform.
he's like I'm not gonna let you die. And then
Which
they
is
both fall in the water with Venom being Venom now. Um,
yeah.
so this brings in the Xenophage again, and it basically fights. The humans try shooting at it because obviously it's a alien, and it kills like two of their
Three
two of
of
the
them.
men. I
It's
think the three. So it kills two of them by itself, and then I think he counted the third one from Eddie killing that woman. I think, but he does say three of my people died later, which honestly, God, it was horrifying too. It's like it eats it and then like sheds blood out of the back of its neck.
yeah, which is like holy shit. Are you sure this movie is not R rated?
Yeah. So in the commotion, Venom is like so Eddie is just swimming away because like he feels like if he tries to help out, bad things are gonna happen. So he kind of just lets the Strickland guys try to deal with it themselves. So Strickland is in his helicarrier. He calls back
HQ to
to
Juno
HQ,
Temple. He
and
calls Juno Temple. It's like there's something else out there. And I just lost three people, which is actually fine, which is actually motivation. He actually cares about his own people.
then the first thing she says is like, "Did you get any samples?"
Which is actually
Samples.
I mean, I think this is like a much more effective communication of their characters. Like one of them is actually sympathetic. Oh fuck, my man died. And the other person is like, can you just give me alien shit?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the scene just cut away from that. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Venom and Eddie kind of talk about it. Like Venom is like Eddie is not very happy that he had to kill somebody, and then Venom is trying to justify it that it's like they were trying to attack you and all this stuff. It was in self defense and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This is around the time where they end up with the Martin Moon, played by Risa Fons, and
Yep.
the
Is,
hippies
is he
alien.
also a comic character I don't know about?
I don't think so.
No. By the way, this is also the same scene that's like, oh, we've been together for a year.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It's so weird that all three movies take place in a fucking year, including the post-credit scene during No Way Home.
Mm. Honestly, God, I feel like a certain cat would kind of get pissed off with. Okay, so then so if this took place in a year, then No Way Home takes place in this year. So you're going to tell me that the Venom movies actually did not take place in 2018. It took place in, I don't know what, 2026, 2025, something like that. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't want to play that game.
I found what
I'm
this
not having
character is
fun
based
anymore.
on. Oh yeah,
I'm tired,
it's like
boss.
yeah. Yeah, so basically that's and then they found
What's it
like
based on?
Lisa Fons a singer called John Moon Martin, a real life singer called John Moon Martin, who's a
Mm.
guitarist. That's an
Yeah.
inspiration.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's they're an okay addition to the film. It did give me a lot of like pseudo Last of Us vibes and stuff like that. Logan, I
yeah,
guess. But it's honestly funny because like Tom Hardy's like, oh yeah, I want to do a Logan esque rated R kind of movie, and it's like, dude, you should have done that a while ago. We've
yeah,
been asking for this for years. And honestly, this Last Dance kind of felt like it would have maybe been better if it tried to go for like a Logan esque kind of story, but it is what it is.
yeah. It's I mean,
I
by the
never
way,
expected that to be fair, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh well. And by the way, we come back to the Juno Temple. Just look at like what's it called? Stephen Graham. He turns into like this spaghetti Venom symbiote.
Yeah, so it's a new symbiote. It's not Toxin. Toxin was trying to kill Mulligan, so they had to detach Toxin from. So that's what Operation was saying earlier. It's like, yeah, it was
Yeah,
trying to detach. It was trying to kill Stephen Graham. Um, so they had to remove him, and then they gave him a different symbiote because his body's now functionless without a symbiote in it. So I don't know.
yes.
I didn't
So here,
really, yeah. But
so here's
then,
the,
yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
So here's the thing of what Stephen Graham said. Um, so he basically explains that but he sensed his old one. I don't even know what old one refers to. And like Venom carries the codex, so basically Venom can sense the codex from other Venoms. Okay, so the old one carries it's like referred to Venom, I guess. He can sense other symbiotes, and someone is gonna hunt the like the codex to like knows freedom. So he just told Juno Temple and Rex to just stop it.
So it's like the only way you can stop it is either Venom or Eddie dies.
Yeah,
So Strickland is full on like, okay, fine, I'll kill one or the other or both. Um, Juno's not super happy about that idea, but it's like she didn't care about his three people dying. So you can see where the this is then the next part the family they end up in. So you have some family stuff where they're
but I
driving
mean,
on the way to Las Vegas. They're singing a song. A lot of the song choices in this movie is like this feels like a 2010 movie. Like the is this and then the casino dance scene.
oh yeah, they sing like fucking David Bowie.
It's like
don't get me wrong.
what are
I,
we
I
in
love
2004?
don't get me wrong, I love David Bowie, but Jesus Christ. But
Yeah.
I don't mind Space Oddity, they sing. But oh well. Oh, by the way, some new information about the scene beforehand. So it's like um Toxin, not Toxin said, uh this guy Noah is older than the universe. I
Yeah.
have no idea how does that work.
He's a multiverse character, so of course. Naturally.
Well, there's no explanation. He's just like fuck it. He's just that old. Even though like universe is created during the Big Bang.
Yeah, I mean, if we talk about the other characters like Beyonder or any other kind of characters like that, that will get annoying for you. But I'll leave it
Yeah.
at that.
Well,
Um,
I actually kind of like this argument between like Strickland and like Juno Temple. Is like, oh, Strickland was like, I need to kill Venom to save the universe, and Juno Temple was like, you can't be serious. And the Rex is like, my men are dying. My man died. And Juno was like, we have barely scratched the surface of everything. I was like, that's actually there's actually some interesting dynamic here. It's just a love. They didn't do much afterwards.
you're more interested in this side than I am.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I do understand where it's coming from. I just personally didn't really care too much, but I do understand where it's coming from.
Yeah, it's like my thing is just like, oh, I care. There's like just a lot of things they could do with it. They just didn't do anything with the dynamic at the end of the movie.
Yeah. You know,
And
I
also,
mean, I didn't really think Juno was super strong. I mean, I know her from Ted Lasso and Fargo, and she's
and
really
Dark
good. I just
and Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises. Yeah.
It's-
I just didn't really think she was super strong in this movie, especially going toe to toe with Chiwetel. So that was just my thing with her. But yeah,
yeah,
I think it just needed somebody who was a little bit more stronger in terms of like appearance or like can actually push back. Because like a lot of the things she is saying is like it is pushback, but like I don't know why Chiwetel is like conforming in that kind of sense. Like I just feel like there was no it didn't feel like an even back to back, even though they were acting like it was a back to back that was even. But that's a nitpick, I guess.
and
Um
but here's the thing. Here's the another scene they tried to set up. The Black Sans lady was like, oh my god, this is terrifying. That's a setup.
mhm. So yeah, they arrive in Las Vegas. Eddie's trying to go into. Honestly, I don't even know what Eddie's like looking for. So Eddie's just trying to find another way to get to New York.
And he
Um,
he just stumbled across Reese Infant's camping trip for some reason.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and they help. This like, oh, we'll take it to Las Vegas, and it's very kind. The type of kind family that you feel like would die if it was a Logan-esque sort of movie, but it's not, so they're fine. Um,
yeah. So
but yeah, they so he's kind of they're the thing is like they're just dicking around essentially. So like, oh, I want to go inside this hotel. You can't go in the hotel because your clothes look like shit. Fair enough. So
yeah.
then he goes finds like a guy like a guard who is like
Wait.
dressed in a suit. Well, first he hits the hotel employee in the head, but even then like he still runs away. Uh, and then he finds another guy who's like drunk and pissing, and
For the other one of those.
yeah, and then then Venom knocks him out. So why do you keep knocking people out? Uh,
Uh,
I don't know. And then he wears the suit. It's kind of funny to me because like the guy was taller than Tom Hardy, and then Tom Hardy puts on the suit and it fits him. It's just very clear that they just got a new suit that fits Tom Hardy better. Those kind of things are like it's a nitpick, but it's really funny to me.
it's actually the
When you
entire
think
movie
about
is just funny. Hey, remember the hippie just like saying ground control to Major Tom the entire time? It's like fucking hell.
it.
I mean,
They have the whole sexiest man alive. I've already
yeah,
won magazines for that. Yeah, that's in real life reference to that with Tom Hardy.
I mean, I guess it's like they're more relationship bonding. It's just like Eddie reflecting what would his life be if he doesn't meet Venom. That's basically the purpose of this scene.
Yeah, that and there's like the boy. I mean the boy in the chocolate scene was pretty good too. When the son character gives Eddie like a piece of chocolate, Eddie's like, "Oh, I have a best friend who loves chocolate,"
No,
and then the boy's like scared of aliens, even though his family's like wants to see aliens, and Tom Hart, Eddie is like, "Aliens aren't real," and then Venom says, "You did the right thing. You'd be a good dad."
yeah, yeah, it's a lot of reflecting. It's like a scene that reflects on what will his life be like if he doesn't have Venom, which is actually built upon from two movies. You know, his fallen relationship with like what's the fuck, Michelle Williams. I'm not gonna add like Annie or something.
Yeah.
But of course my problem is like, what the fuck did Reese Infant bring his kids to Area 51?
Uh, to be fair, the wife also supports it too. So
Fucking hell, people. It's like it's a place for militaries and shit.
I guess the only thing I could maybe see is like it is getting decommissioned. I just don't really know. It is a bit silly overall. Uh, but speaking of silly, so Venom goes in. I mean, Eddie goes in, and Venom is like astounded by the pretty lights and the gambling. So he uses the $20 that.
Oh no,
Uh,
the first scene he sees is like the lady, the statue first, the Statue of Liberty. Okay, we got jump a bit before because it's actually relevant.
uh,
Yeah, it's
uh,
like, which is actually, if you don't remember that, it's like another thing of, oh yeah, what would they be like? What would they do if they are not fugitives anymore? Another reflection of what would they want to do. Then you get the casino shit.
yeah, and then it's funny.
Yeah.
Venom is just pressing all the buttons using Eddie's hand. Everybody looking at him like he's stupid. Um, uh, Venom is really enthralled by the whole gambling stuff. Realizes that he lost and got really angry. Um, then, uh, then
So
all of a sudden, like Mrs. Chen is in Las Vegas.
yeah,
From the candy bar shop. Uh,
yeah. In this, not just in Las Vegas, in this exact same gambling room, and in this exact same time.
yeah, and she's just there for vacation.
How
So,
much how much do you earn for this vacation?
and it sounds like she won. She won the like a big prize, like according to them, because like they have like this sweet hotel where it's huge, and then Mrs. Chen is like, let's like so when they go up to the hotel, I mean they do have like your standard like I haven't seen you in such a while. We're still on the run and all that stuff. And then like I want to see Venom. No, you don't want to see him. And then it's like I want to dance. And Venom is also saying I want to dance. And
What
he's like, but this
what
Xenophage is going to attack. I don't care.
what the fuck? You of course you should care. If you got a release, the entire universe is doomed.
But yeah, Venom and Mr. Chen start dancing, and
Because
Venom is like very, very in tune with the choreography. It's like, how have you been practicing? Uh, which kind of makes you think that maybe Venom does practice dancing when Eddie's asleep.
with Chan.
But yeah,
Uh,
but
but
yeah,
yeah,
the Xenophage pretty much goes all the way to Las Vegas and attacks, but then Venom goes back to human form, Eddie Brock, and the monster is blind again. And
yeah,
at least this time, the monster doesn't attack; it just decides to fuck off. But then the military shows up right after.
What are the odds? By the way, what the fuck didn't the military care about the other alien?
I guess it just left in time.
I mean, you could just send a lot more ships and shit. But oh well.
And they do the Sonic thing this time, and this time they capture Venom and Eddie separately. And
Yeah, military
gets into
attack.
Area 51. Um, Eddie is in the prison cell. He sees across that Mulligan is there. Mulligan is saying that through the symbiote is telling him like you need to destroy the codex or something like that.
Yeah.
I forgot what the particular line was.
Yeah. Okay. So what is actually before that the fucking hippie brings his entire family to sneak into fucking Area 51. Yes, the place that is gotta be the decommissionized with falling buildings.
Yeah.
Gosh. And there's a fucking hole there. Jesus Christ, you
I think
military.
at that point they just don't care about the. It's going to be decommissioned in 3 days. Who cares about security at this point?
Yeah. Oh my God.
So that part I could understand maybe a little bit. What is it? What is it? This is around the time where they.
So okay, here's a really stupid thing that happened. The black scientist bond with Venom. It's not, but it's a reveal later.
Sadie, right?
Yeah, I don't even remember. I don't even know that they even say her name.
They just refer to her as Christmas because she wears a Christmas tree pin. Her name is
Uh huh.
Sadie Christmas. So there's that.
You what the fuck?
Um. So this it kind of goes all over the place. Um, because Strickland comes in, he's like super angry, of course, and
Well, like
Juno is there, and like he's basically saying that everything is shutting down from this whole symbiote project. It's my research. No, it's not your research. It's just you work here. That's the difference. Um, and basically, in this chaos is like where Strickland takes the opportunity to shoot Eddie.
my question is, what the fuck do you? Oh, yeah. To be fair, he's the one that killed Ed, who killed like one of his people. But at the same time, was like, are you sure you don't want to deal with the alien? You have to choose the human. But as like a lot of things, like I guess.
Yeah, and then this is like where Sadie has the Venom symbiote, and then Venom goes back into Eddie in that sense. So Eddie does not die from the bullet.
Yeah, but
Um,
and then it's so coincidence that Sadie just appeared in that moment.
well, to be fair, both Juno was there too, and they were
Yeah.
just always together.
And here's the thing: what the fuck does Sadie bond with Venom?
Um, so they do kind of comment on it is like Sadie is noticing that Venom is deteriorating without being with Eddie. Uh, my only thing is like I guess it's like could be out of feeling bad for it. I guess because I guess according to the other symbiotes and how Venom symbiote is reacting, Venom is a lot more volatile without being with its host. So I guess it's like something that it's like an observation of like noticing that and feeling bad for it is my guess at least.
Here's the other because this is the setup. She feels bad that Universe is gonna die, and he's gonna kill Eddie. So she bonds with Venom. So here's my logic jump. Here's the logic jump. You are possession with a fucking alien. It was like, are you gonna risk your life just to save a person? But just bond with a fucking alien and betray everything you stood for? Remember, she has to betray, like she has to get Venom in Area 55, and use it to fight the other generals.
But the other thing is like Eddie has to die and that's like already. I mean, the whole thing is unfair if we're being honest.
I mean,
Like Eddie has to get shot. One because like I guess because well I the other thing too is like Strickland is a bit out of pocket for shooting Eddie like that. Being the government guy and all that stuff. To be fair, he has said I don't care, so I can't really argue against that if you don't care. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's like it's a lot going on for just like a 30-second scene.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
and the fact that why the fuck does Strickland just chase after the alien? Remember, the alien took that by surprise.
yeah, and then because Venom is back in Eddie's body, the Xenophage drops in again. It's just it's crazy how the Xenophage just like pops up and out randomly,
And remember, this is fucking underground.
and it's underground. Um, so it's there. Then Mulligan's symbiote comes out, trying to protect Venom. He's telling Venom to get out and get away with the Codex, and then it dies. Gets eaten up and shredded like the other blood humans, and yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
So
we
Stephen,
brought back Mulligan for this.
yeah. So bye, Stephen Graham. You got like the easiest paycheck in the world. Literally, just sit in a room and start talking.
It's probably not even him talking. It's whoever's doing the voice acting for Toxin, not Toxin. I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, I know.
Um,
And also
yeah,
the symbiote that's got possessed the black lady is called Lasher.
yes, the green one, and then the purple one is Agony.
Uh,
We see that basically the Xenophage is going out there. The symbiotes. So Venom is telling to let the other symbiotes come out so they can fight. So Sadie opens the symbiote chamber. The symbiotes are jumping onto different humans to help fight in the action, and a lot of them are dying, both symbiotes and humans. While all this chaos is ensuing, and Juno takes a sample of the purple symbiote vial in her pocket before she runs away. Um, and then essentially it's just pretty much a back and forth of symbiotes and humans versus the xenophage, and
but
they,
my question
they can destroy it essentially.
my question is, why don't they just try some sonic weapons against him? Like in this laboratory, they just only have regular guns, even though they're literally surrounded by symbiotes.
Yeah. Um.
Like, yeah, this stuff they should really do like some sonic weapons, and it's like they just like the climax is a bunch of just fuck it. Let's just have the Phantom symbiotes just spawn together.
And then the eventually the xenophage like fires like a sonic wave into space that basically indicating to know that it's found the codex.
Wait.
So again, you got to remember that this is a one Earth on one universe, and it's sending out a sonic wave up into space and summoning somebody who's outside of space and time.
Wait, there's sound in space?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it gets the attention of Null, and Null sends more xenophages to that Earth through its
So
portals to help that xenophage attack and get the codex.
why? Why the fuck didn't you just send an army of them already instead of just one by one?
Why didn't the xenophage like indicate that I found him? So let's bring more xenophages here. It's only here for the third act because they don't want to pay the money to do all this alien bullshit.
I mean, there's like 6 symbiotes here.
Yeah, but the xenophage is kind of would be more, I would assume.
Yeah, probably.
That's why it's also in the dark. It's a nighttime setting. Hide that CGI budget. Classic.
Yeah, and
Uh,
then
but
one of
yeah,
the there's like there's a lot of variety. Like one of the symbiotes has like lava powers
yeah, and it dies.
immediately. Jesus.
One of them is like super strong. It dies. One of them is blue. It dies.
Yeah,
Basically, anybody who is a non-named character, they all die.
pretty much.
But Lasher, who the green one that attached to Sadie, she's doing pretty well.
Even though she's not even like a fucking warrior. She's just a scientist.
Yeah, I guess like that, but I mean that's kind of the annoying thing about for me for Venoms in general is that it does kind of it is a misconception of how symbiotes work. They don't just take over and operate on their own accord. They actually do rely on the person to use their personal skills in order to be the Venom symbiote. Like the whole thing about symbiosis is like they both the human and the symbiote are supposed to work together. But in all of these Venom movies, they don't really do that. Venom kind of just does it on his own, while Eddie's like sitting back. But that's at this point for the third movie in the trilogy, it doesn't really matter. Um, but
So
yeah, basically
in
they've tried like different methods of trying to destroy a xenophage. Like they tried firing a rocket blaster that comes back to life. They use helicopter blades to slice the head off.
so here's my
It's
problem with
fine.
the rocket launcher scene from like Shooter the Adjutant. I was like, why would you aim at the Phantom symbiote instead of the big fuck off alien? I mean, say what you want about the Phantom symbiotes. It's like, holy shit, they're at least fighting the aliens for you.
Yeah, and that's something that the Sadie, the Lasher one, was saying is like because that symbiote actually died for good, uh, and the Xenophage came back to life from that. But you wasted a symbiote soldier for the potential chance of destroying both. So
I mean,
I
here's
think
the
that's what they were going for.
but Shooter they actually aimed the fucking missile to like at a symbiote. That's my problem.
The
Instead of
symbiote on top of the Xenophage.
yeah,
Like you can tell the purpose was I wanted to kill the symbiote, not really the Xenophage.
so that's I was like, I mean, here's the thing. This will not be a problem if not the fuck Stephen Graham literally tell him. But if this thing kidnapped the symbiote, the universe will die.
I guess he's just racist to symbiotes.
Yeah, he's just that patty. Oh well.
Yeah, it's like it's not even Venom. You're mad at Venom, not the blue one, but who cares? They're symbiotes. It's all the same, right?
Yeah, it's like three
Kind of
people
crazy
die.
in 2024. This kind of logic. That's kind of crazy.
Yep. So and then he just I mean
Yeah,
it's a really stupid thing. I mean that all you need to do is just like, oh, I'm gonna shoot the alien, and some people was like, no, you could kill both sides.
yeah. Yeah. So the symbiote dies, and then the Xenovich comes back to life. Um, then they try different methods of trying to kill xenophages. They use the helicopter blade method. That doesn't work. Um,
And yeah, and
and then
yeah.
um,
At the
it gets
same
to a
time,
point. Yeah, go ahead.
you forgot the scene that Eddie saved like Ree's infant's family. And he just talks to them. That's the scene that's posted on fucking Twitter for some reason. Yeah, he just like, oh, we are family. And he just talks to the kid. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. I was like, okay, that's actually nice.
Thanks for the chocolate.
Yeah. I mean, and then he just saves them from a falling building.
Yeah, along with two other symbiotes as well, or they helped. Um, yeah, that was the family stuff is the better part of the movie. I would say.
I mean, I don't mind a lot of parts in this movie.
Yeah,
Hmm. It's just like, and then you just
there's,
realize, yeah, just go ahead.
there's too much going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a lot of like the plot is like fucking nonsense, and there's like characters doing stupid stuff.
I'm just thinking like it's the end of the trilogy, and like the villains are lapdogs, not the villain. But I guess it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it is like a big stakes because for humans, like this is crazy what they're dealing with. I assume Null, like dealing with Null would be even worse. So it's like at least like they're dealing with something that's at least somewhat winnable.
I mean, here's the thing. They will either have to write themselves in the Kong situation. They're like, oh fuck, how do we deal with this universal threat or multiversal threat? It's like a bunch of ant people just beats him.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they're hoping that the MCU will use Null and they can deal with that problem. We don't have to
Um,
do with that.
I mean, I think they should just instead of like those bug people, the no should have like some loyal servants that works for him. That's actually loyal to him. Like some I don't know. I don't read that much comics. Okay, he's gonna summon this guy called No Junior, and he's gonna help free No by capturing Venom. I think they should really do something like this. They're sending dogs.
Um, yeah,
If they want to save, yeah,
you
just for
get
safety.
you get your third act low point essentially where the xenophages are killing more people. It gets overwhelmed. You see Resifons come back to fire a rocket launcher.
And Eddie do a bunch of like motorcycle stunts in the first movie.
Yeah, they bring back. Basically, the plan is to like um, let's bring the aliens away from the people because they're about to attack. He tells them to have the choppers follow them so they can go at the kill box. So
Yeah,
some planning and some level of thinking for Venom and Eddie. Um, and they do get on a box. The xenophages get blasted, but then they of course regenerate. Then you have your third act low point where Eddie goes into the Eddie got stabbed through the gut, and he goes into a helicopter that's already destroyed, and
yeah,
him and Venom are essentially just like thinking
and
that
and then
this is the last dance.
and then Rex just like try to save other fallen soldiers while getting stabbed. By the way, he just got stabbed, and he the Santa Fe doesn't just eat him for some reason.
He's a main character. They don't do that to main characters.
And, yeah, and until like Venom just like fucking do a stun that save Rex Strickland. So it's also the fact. So it's just it's part of the character development for Rex to trust Venom again and the symbiotes, which is fine. It's just a lot. It's just contrived, and the rocket stuff is just stupid.
Yeah, and then so Venom realizes that he has to destroy it. He has to sacrifice himself and destroy the Codex to save the universe. So what Venom does is like he so
Okay, actually, there's a lot more to read into this.
okay.
Yeah, so basically, what happened is like Venom and Eddie was like, "Oh, there's no more hope now." So, and they have to like do something insane shit.
I wish we would have saw the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. So as soon and it's actually like they're actually it's actually a bond between like for 3 movies, and they finally accept each other and to become protectors of the world without anyone noticing them. And Eddie refused to just let Venom do it alone, so he just like, oh, you know what? Let's just do it as the lethal protector. He's not gonna let his friend just die alone. So that's basically, and then Venom is like, yeah, sure, which is basically a lie.
Yeah. So Venom basically all the xenophages like go and attack Venom, but Venom like he absorbs all the xenophages so that it's like within itself. And then he's leading them into the acid tanks. Um, and
Yeah,
then he spits Eddie out,
yeah,
and
and then
he puts a toxic, like a door over him so that now all the toxic waste will spill onto Venom and the xenophages.
yeah, and they do
And
it to like
he tells like
yeah.
Rex to, give the clearance to turn it on.
Yeah,
And so Strickland is like mortally wounded too, so
He just
Venom is just trying to get as much acid on his body as possible to get all of them to die, including himself. And Strickland accelerates the process by setting off a grenade to destroy all of them.
and also the fact that he's gonna die by acid anyway. So let's just have a clear death, like a more straightforward, like cleaner death.
Yeah. And then Juno takes out her purple symbiote, bonds
Yeah.
with Agony, and then uses the super speed to get Sadie out of the explosion.
Okay. Because I think I need to slow down all the fucking things here. There's a lot of payoffs happening. There's some work that some that just doesn't. Okay, what works? It's like Venom and Eddie. Okay, here's the thing. It's the setup is because that Area 51 is got destroyed, so it's a stupid setup, but it is there. Venom like throwing like saving Eddie to save humanity and save him. It's actually meaningful. Like they gotta do anything together, but he's not willing to let this guy let his friend die. I mean, it's similar to the first movie's payoff, but but here's the thing: in the first movie, he just saves Eddie, and in this movie, he's got to save more than just Eddie. And then there's like Strickland, just like fuck it, I'm gonna trust this symbiote, and Venom just actually helps like Strickland to just lift himself up to do so without resistance, and he just blows himself off. Here's my problem with this. Okay, this is actually meaningful for Strickland, but my problem is like there's no way Eddie's gonna survive the explosion.
I guess the whole idea is the blast door.
The blast. I don't think a blast door can help you survive explosion that destroy like a city block.
I don't even get why it's a grenade. It's one grenade.
Yeah.
A grenade shouldn't destroy a whole city.
Yeah, it's like, and from like in a character standpoint, but like the plot standpoint, it's like quite contrived. I get is it because a grenade just triggers some like chain reaction from the oil from like the
acid chamber.
Yeah, it's like my only interpretation is like, is this acid flammable?
I would think so. Because essentially when Eddie goes unconscious from as the base is like burned up and all that. That's pretty much how that scene ends.
And okay, here's the payoff that means nothing. Juno Temple turns into Venom that has super speed.
Yeah, and then the criminal thing is where they flash back to young Juno and Thaddeus, and how that Thaddeus died, but Juno saved this person from dying.
Do you know what would be better?
I was laughing at that part.
Yeah, I was like, how the fuck do you miss a payoff like this? All you have to do is like just remove the black girl, the black scientist, just have Juno Temple take on the symbiote from the get-go. I was like, why don't you just do that? That would be a much more meaningful payoff.
I get it in the sense of like the idea is saving somebody when you didn't have the power to save somebody before. My thing is like,
I mean, you just convey that with Rex Strickland already.
No. I mean, like, so for the whole thing with what is her name anyway? Teddy.
Teddy.
The whole reason with Teddy is that she's basically feeling bad that like she wasn't able to. She survived, but her brother died from a lightning blast and all that stuff. Which there's some things you can't really. There's like nothing you can really do, but I don't really mind the PTSD aspect out of that. It's just like, so I feel like, wouldn't it be more effective if you were helping somebody who was helpless? Because I feel like that would kind of be the point, especially in a scene like that. Because like she had like Lasher had the symbiote on her, though Lasher died eventually by the xenophage eating it. So I guess Sadie was helpless at that point because she didn't have a symbiote. But I do feel like if you wanted to do this whole arc of like, oh, she's finding a purpose again, helping somebody who was helpless, saving them in a situation where they couldn't save themselves. Um, I could see that being an idea, but I feel like the way it happened is just so silly.
It's
Um,
I mean,
that
here's the other thing. So
yeah,
what they established for like Teddy, it's like she would rather like not care about anything, people dying just to like explore some symbiotes.
but the thing too is like you also have to remember when she was driving to work, her first line we hear is like, it should have been me, not you. Like you should have been doing this job, not me. To her brother, like up in heaven and that stuff. So she kind of has like a you know like
I
like
mean,
a jaded perspective in terms of like uh it should have been me that died, not you. Like you should have been the one doing all this and having this life and all that stuff. But it doesn't really come across that well, like in terms
no.
of like how she feels this way, but then like
I mean,
yeah.
the more interesting aspect I got is like because her brother died, so she just get herself into a scientist, and she just explores a lot of like Venom stuff, and she cares more about like what is beyond there for his brother. That's what I got from the flashback, not literally. Oh, I finally can save someone. It's like that's never my intended. My read for her is like she just want to explore some aliens, and she would never care about other humans to do so. I was that that was never a payoff.
Yeah, my only thing is like I could see the argument because like how they flashback, like thinking about her saving Christmas was like, and then going back to flashback on her not saving her brother. But I just feel like there is no emphasis enough on it to like really say that it was earned.
And like Sadie is not even a character. She just does whatever the plot what needs her to. I mean, if I rewrite this, I would just have like remove the fucking character already, just have Lasher, and have her like have her did something at the during
Well,
the climb.
you need Lasher to bond to somebody.
Uh, have like Lasher with her, I guess. Just have Lasher bond with like Teddy, or just have the what's like Agony bond with her already from the climax to help fight the aliens, and at the end she just like decided to just sacrifice all her research to save some innocent people. I mean, if I was writing the script, if I was handling this character, I would be like,
I'm
yeah,
fine with saving one person because essentially that was kind of her point of
but
being unable to save one person. I don't think saving a group of people would
I
work
mean,
as well.
or just save one person, because like this has like no, how do I describe it? There's nothing. She doesn't sacrifice anything. She still got the symbiote at the end. That's why it just rings hollow to me. She has no. I mean, it's a payoff that she has no sacrifice for.
No, I mean, my whole thing is like, I just find it criminal that they do a flashback like it's earned. That's my problem.
Yeah, it's not when this show do something like this. Like this is never earned.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people say do your best to do a homage, but like don't use a flashback because otherwise, when you put a flashback, it makes you look more pretentious. Oh,
Yeah,
this was the point, by the way, just for your information.
yeah. I
Now,
mean,
one way you people get away with that is like maybe they do lines, like they do flashback lines, like in the dialogue. You can hear it in the background, but you don't see the scene again. That's one way to go around it without actually showing the flashback.
I
Um,
mean, yeah. It's so weird because I mean, it's like all she has to say. It's like, fuck. I mean, I don't know because I would just rewritten her, what she would be doing during the entire climax if I was in charge.
no, because like they put her on duty for driving the hippie family away.
That's the only contribution she has.
Yeah, that and then the final action.
And the fact that it's only safe because this Phantom symbiote just have super speed for some reason.
Yeah, they've also been picking and choosing as to which Venom has like which type of powers. They don't really go in depth with that either.
Yeah.
Like some of them, just like one of them has fire powers. Didn't do anything with it. One of them
Yep.
is like super. So one of them has earth power. I'm sure you'll find one Venom symbiote with water power. So yeah,
Yeah. And also air
but
power.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a hollow player.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then basically after all this, it cuts to Eddie wakes up in a hospital. A military official tells him that because of what his actions and Venom did at Area 51, it's earned him expungement. Uh, but he has to keep everything that's happened there a secret. Otherwise, he'll regret that. Put in the darkest hole. And yeah, so Eddie ends up in New York. He gazes at the Statue of Liberty. He remembers Venom.
Which is fine. I mean, it plays Memories from Maroon 5. If you don't know, that song is from 2020.
Yeah, but like it's like, I know it's a more recent song, but like it still feels like a 2005 ending or like a movie way. I don't know.
To be fair, a lot of the goodbye songs are like really, really old. It's like, remember
Yeah,
that Wolverine, that song from Green Day is like 2000s.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, there's no good. Every goodbye song here today, it's like not really good unless you go to for more indie stuff, which I don't think Sony wants to do that.
yeah. Sony doesn't have the money for that.
No, I mean indie stuff. Indie stuff like really cheap, but they want something that more recognizable.
Yeah, that's basically it.
I
Then you
mean,
got you, yeah,
I like the ending. It's like concluding the character. Just it's like I mean, actually, I don't understand because they didn't even show a flashback for this. So basically, what the Teddy stuff, they could actually do something like this. Just have her say, "Okay, I finally saved you. I finally saved you."
oh, like bring it back. I mean, because like it only ends with Eddie. You don't really see anything with related to the other character. Because honestly, she's the only character who has something else to say. Because Sadie doesn't have anything. Rex is dead. And I guess you could show the hippie family again, but for what reason?
Yep. And yeah, so Venom is just oh
Yeah, my thing about this movie before we get to the credit scenes are I think there are some ideas that can work if there was more time put into those ideas. I feel like I personally just don't like anything to do with Null and the Xenophages and all that stuff. So I
oh
feel like
yeah.
I was always gonna have a bias against them in the
Um,
movie because
don't
I
get me
just
wrong.
don't
I
think they work as like villains or in general. Uh huh.
I my problem with Noah is like, holy shit, your children are so powerful. How the fuck do you lost your Phantom symbiotes? Like one of them can just kill like six of them.
Yeah, and it's like via the power of absorbing and getting melted by acid, I guess.
And the fact that Noah has like what like portal powers was like, how do you even lost?
Yeah, again, Null was created in 2018, so a much recent character in comparison to all these other conversations that we've been having. Um,
At the very
it's
least, they
not a
didn't use some. Yeah, at the very least, they didn't use something that you care about.
yeah. Speaking of Null, the mid-credit scene is just Null talking to the camera, saying, "The universe is no longer safe for now that Venom has fallen." So, yeah,
What the fuck? I've
Null
seen it.
Null will return in Avengers: Secret Wars.
I mean, this is so funny and like because the fact that wait, Phantom is just here to protect Earth a year.
It really
He's not.
took, and again, I what the codex happens only when like a symbiote resurrects somebody back to life. Okay, so Venom is dead, allegedly. We'll get to the second post credit scene in a second. Um, but who's to say that another symbiote doesn't have another great relationship with a human? Like, let's say Agony and Juno, for example. What if they? What if like Agony saves Juno? later. Does that mean that she has the codex now?
Yeah,
That's why the codex thing is so stupid.
and here's the thing. Noah has to like search around the universe to find. Basically, he's just blind running.
And I guess Topher Grace, Venom. Like I guess Venom didn't really care about Topher Grace that much.
I don't even. Here's the thing. I don't even understand how Noah is what being is in No. He said he's older than universe, and he can open portals to No Way Home universe, which is a fucking retcon. And
Yeah,
then and then he's and all he's been described is a universal being. I was like, how strong? I was like, the movie they can't make up with the mind of how powerful is this guy.
hmm yeah. And then the post credit scene is just a the
The
no
bar
the bartender. He's escaped
he's
from the burn from being so Area 51, which he was there the whole time. I hate when they do this kind of post credit scene. It's like it's a character you don't think about, and then the character is like, "Oh, I was here the whole time and I survived this crazy thing." And yeah, but then you see this black cockroach comes out of the rubble next to a vial that had a symbiote
why would you use the bartender?
to make it funny.
Uh-huh. I mean, I'll probably just choose another character we know about it already, so
I guess technically we do know about the bartender.
you get what I mean. Yeah, I'll probably
Rex
just
is bomb.
yeah. I mean, yeah, not gonna use Rex. I don't know. Probably like Juno Temple or the Sadie Christmas character. Just like, oh, we found enough person because they're or just have the military just grab around this graveyard. 50
Maybe
and it's because now you have to believe the fact that bartender can survive the explosion.
explosion, acid.
And the fact that the base is like 60 feet underground or something.
Yeah, he climbed. He just climbed out. This bartender just climbed out.
Hey, to be fair, the no pads can just drove 60 feet underground instantly.
Yeah. So that was Venom: The Last Dance. I still don't like this franchise, man.
Uh, no. Don't get me wrong. I never care about the Venom franchise. This movie just like, oh, it surprised me. There's like, there's payoffs that
It
work.
really does strike to me like, oh, Venom 1 was popular, so we got to make more Venom movies now. We got to
Uh,
make a Morbius movie. We got to make a Madam Web movie, which apparently Madam Web is not canon. Okay, that doesn't mean anything really.
yeah.
Uh, and Madam Web came out this year too, by the way.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes, Venom 3 is better than Madam Web, but I just
It,
can't believe we have to lower the bar so much.
oh, Venom 3 is better than Echo. Venom 3 is better than Echo. Venom 3 is okay. Venom 3 is better than Echo Far from all I've seen so far. Venom 3 is better than Deadpool Wolverine.
I guess it's not better than X-Men 97, but I hate X-Men 97.
I've never seen it,
But
so
Unity can't speak to that. But yeah.
I mean,
Um,
I would
Go
not
ahead.
watch it. I would not watch X-Men 97 until I seen the fucking original show first. So
I can see that.
yeah, I mean, people were like, "That's so good." I was like, wait, okay. So how much do you take the original show into consideration? They're like, no. It's like, okay.
Because I have seen people say that. I don't want to go too much in depth again with Noah 97, but like I have seen people say that 92 is not that great, but 97 is just more palatable for me to watch. It's like that's fine and all, but like you still have to count that it's canon or it's trying to be canon. So even if you don't find it engaging, you should still probably watch it to understand what is it that was there, what is it that was a part of the story, and does any of the things that happened in the show make sense or not?
Yeah.
Which for me it doesn't, but that's again another conversation for another day. But yeah,
Yeah. I mean, Phantom 3 is probably it's. Do you think it's better than Guardians 3?
better than Guardians. Well,
You ever remember how stupid Guardians 3 is? I mean, it has moments, but at the same time, it also has really stupid shit. Like people don't remember how stupid, like how shit High Evolutionary is.
But it's another case of the actor being too good.
Yeah, because like this guy is like the most OP person ever, and he just blows up a planet, and he can just one hit KO like Adam Warlock, and he just like, and he has like some shitty drones that'll just create a bunch of Adam Warlocks.
Yeah, and it does that thing where I hate where you give a character who had his own accomplishments in the comics, and then you give him extra accomplishments from other characters, and then like this character can do all of that. Like creating Adam Warlock was like my most annoying thing. It's like, why the fuck did you have to have High Evolutionary be the guy that made the
Yeah, I mean, here's
to
the
make all of them, not just Adam Warlock, like including Aisha and all of them.
you have to also remember that here's the thing: at the end, Venom's conclusion has more weight than Peter Quill and Mantis. What's it called? Drax, or possibly even Nebula's conclusions. They literally only have one scene and just like, here's the scene, set up, done, bye. Here's the payoff.
Goes back home to his grandpa.
After just one scene of him talking to fucking Mantis.
And even then, it's like I get it. I understand what they're going for. I just feel like, and then like I just find it weird with this whole like I was fine with I'm fine with like a bit with the whole Peter Gamora thing. I do appreciate not forcing them in a relationship. That makes sense to me. Um, but I still feel like with like Drax is like no, he's a dad now. I understand where it's coming from, but like I don't feel like the movie kind of led it for me to believe that this is what he wanted.
I mean, it's just like there's an A to B point. It's just this everything between that is like hollow. It's just there's barely any solid between the
And then
points.
like I don't like when people are obtuse about it. It's like, oh, you don't like where Drax is like being a dad to other people? Like, yeah, no, it's nice and manipulative for sure.
Yeah, I
But
mean it's I get in concept.
and Dave Bautista is a great kind of person. So I can understand why people would feel inclined to see him like a father figure. I get it, but like I don't feel like it was earned.
No, fuck that. They flanderized him like in the second movie already.
Yeah. And then yeah, and then I've said so many things about Gunn. I feel like the biggest nail in the coffin for me was the whole like how could he possibly get another helmet? I intended for it to be destroyed. How could he possibly get a second one in Infinity War?
I don't know. He's just like, I don't know, because the Russo brothers sucks. I mean, that's basically his response. Again, you're the executive producer. Just say no to that.
And even then, it's like, is it that crazy to build a new one? And honestly speaking, like for a lot of people, when people were watching the movie, they actually thought that when Peter Quill was like falling, when he fell out of the area, that whole Groot has the gun stuff, and they don't recognize that. People thought that this would be the introduction to the brand new helmets of like that's more comic accurate, but that doesn't happen. He doesn't have a jetpack. He doesn't have his boots. He doesn't have a helmet. He's actually falling from there without a helmet,
And
and Groot has to save him with his wing powers that he has now.
yeah, so I mean that's his plan. So oh wow. By the way, here's the thing: the endgame kind of screw over what Gunn wants Peter conclusion is. Remember, Peter Quill is on Earth. He doesn't give a shit about his Earth family because you know what? He cares about the family he made from blood, like not from blood. He actually formed a relationship with.
Yeah, and
He,
again, I don't mind retiring. Like I feel like people do kind of get unfair with the whole like, what if a hero wants to retire? They have to do this for life, or do they have to do it until they die? I can understand like why it can get kind of tedious. I just feel like I don't really feel like in any instance of Guardians 3 that I felt like he wanted to retire.
Yeah.
It just kind of comes upon him
And
towards the
yeah,
end of the movie.
so that's why I said it's like is Venom 3 better than Guardians 3? I mean the Rocket stuff is probably better than Venom's payoff, but like you have to remember how much shit Guardians 3 has.
I mean, it's an interesting conversation because I know people like objectively say that Venom 3 is worse. Um, I do think High Evolutionary is a better villain antagonist, despite his flaws. Because I mean, ultimately, even though Null is like multiversal and stuff, the Xenophages are like they have nothing to say because they're just dogs.
Yeah.
Um, that's one thing, at least for me.
It's just this character is like really stupid, and then there's like a lot of world building problems that introduce.
Yeah, but so does Venom 3, to be fair.
Yeah, so it's like I just struggling to think it's like Venom 3 the best, the better the entire Phase 5. Uh, and yeah, it's like Guardians 3 is like has like what healing packs that can regrow fucking limbs, not regrow limbs, just snap limbs back together. It's like, wait, how the fuck do you develop that technology?
I still think the whole this is from the second movie, so I can't really say it from this movie in particular. But I just never really liked the whole symbiotes can bring the host back to life, and
It's in the
then calling this like a codex because of this action.
It's the first movie. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if I think they just need a reason to just like, oh fuck, why do they have to chase down this Phantom specifically instead of other Phantoms? So they just like, they have to die first. I mean, if I were them, I would be like, I don't know. I need to think of like, ever have there's something happen in this very same movie that justifies it instead of like a movie prior.
I'm gonna be honest though, like my biggest annoyance with Sony's franchise planning in general is like clearly there's no plan.
No, there's
Uh,
no.
there's no cinematic universe kind of thing. It really is just we got to do it because we got to do it. Um, but like what I find really annoying is that like you actually had access to the Spider Women for Madam Web, meaning like you could have done a universe with Spider Women or something like that, and maybe try developing your own with like those superheroes, or like you can at least incorporate them. So instead of using Peter Parker, Spider Man, you could probably use like the Spider Women instead. I don't know if it's because that would be too woke or whatever that bullshit is, but like you actually had access to like a bunch of characters that can actually be potentially used for a universe and you don't use them at all. I find that really stupid.
I
Like
mean,
the fact that you had like Isabella Merced and like Sydney Sweeney and you do nothing with them in both ways is crazy.
yeah. I mean, here's the thing. If I were to rewrite like Phantom 3, it's like I would be like, oh, how are they Codex created? You see, Phantom 3 jump the multiverse. I guess that's my only explanation. He just hop a different universe and now he has a Codex.
Yeah, and my other thing too is like I do understand people saying that like oh it's like Venom is just like Venom without Spider-Man can be really boring. I can understand that point of view. Um, I don't really think I don't think the issue is like Venom and Eddie in particular that is boring. I just think like it's everything around them that is boring.
I mean, it's like saying the Penguin without Batman is boring. It's like, and I love the Penguin.
Yeah, I mean the thing is like Venom is like the way Venom is created is because of Spider-Man and all that stuff. So I do understand where it's coming from. It's just that but I don't think it's an issue with Eddie and Venom in particular because Eddie and Venom have a lot of stories together without Spider-Man in them. It's just like how they were created is because of Spider-Man. But that's like it's not really a big deal. I think the bigger issue is just like I just think the world around them is boring. Like how the other characters interact with who's the villains that they're dealing with. I mean, Carnage technically is a you can have Carnage and Venom like with that, but then how Carnage died was really stupid.
Uh,
Um,
I mean, they could. I mean, they did. To be fair, they did do something with Eddie and Venom. It's like they do have a not their dynamic is not too bad. There's just a lot of things that is not good.
yeah,
I'm thinking. It's like because this is like this is I actually kind of enjoy this, like both ironically and ironically. It's like Aquaman 2 for a moment. It's like so stupid, but at the same time they know it, and there's actually some payoff that it's like, oh my god, I'm actually watching a real movie.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's still bad, but
I don't know
yeah.
if it's I don't know if it's like how I kind of felt about Joker 2 and you didn't.
Hmm?
I don't know if it's like how I felt about Joker 2 versus how you did.
I don't care. Joker 2 is just nothing for me to enjoy, anyways. Joker 2.
Because for me, I personally did enjoy the movie. Not
Yeah,
like super well, but like I didn't really have too much of an issue with it. Um,
it's just
overall,
it's just hollow.
yeah. But to be fair, I also felt like this was all just in a different way.
I think there's like at least there's something here. It's a Venom free. I mean that I'll give it that. There's a lot more plot issues in this movie.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I saw like Hideo's commentary on Joker 2
oh,
earlier.
I don't. Yeah, I don't even know what to say because like I just don't want to think about Joker 2 ever again. It's just a really bad movie.
Yeah, I didn't really hate it.
I mean, I don't
But
hate this. Yeah,
that was the Last Dance.
yeah, I don't hate
Craven
this
is
movie.
next. Craven is next, coming out in December.
December when?
I don't remember.
Crave. Let's check just in
Wait, no,
case.
didn't it move again?
I'm not sure. Let me look at it.
Yeah, another case of we're using Russian characters and nobody is Russian. December 13th.
December
Oh
14th. Oh
god.
Jesus.
I hate how Sony casts, man. It's so annoying. It's so inconsistent with Aaron Taylor Johnson as Craven. What the fuck are we doing? Yes, he's a great actor. I get it, but like that dude is not Craven, bro. Russell
Uh,
Crowe is the dad.
yeah. I mean, I guess Russell Crowe is in everything now. Oh, by the way, do you remember the new Gladiator 2? That's gotta be fun. Fan
Yeah,
fucking's not there, but still.
I don't know.
Oh my god, Gladiator 2 is just next week.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm never gonna. I don't even. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll do it, but I don't wanna.
I personally don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm really tired of sequels after 20 years later.
And I'm gonna be real here. Ridley Scott is nuts.
Yeah, people have already found like a few instances of not historical accuracy in Gladiator 2.
Oh fuck! I just checked the
And
writer of.
remember the last time somebody
Yeah.
told that to Ridley Scott about Napoleon?
Get a life.
Who fucking cares?
You care. Dude. What the fuck? Do you know how much you like you? How much does your movie cost? 200 million? No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you
Budget.
also have to put the research into like do the movie, right? Like there's no way that you oh and he got permission to do another Alien movie.
Fuck you, Ridley Scott.
Like Ridley is in charge of that one, not the other one.
I mean, I don't even like what's up, Fred Andres's effort. Even Fred Andres' version is really bad.
Over his yeah.
Oh, right. There's Alien Earth. Where the fuck is that coming from? 2025. Ridley Scott is also a producer, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna take place before Alien is born, created in universe. I wish I was joking. And also, Gladiator 2 is written by the same guy who wrote Napoleon, the reboot of The Day the Earth Stood Still.
I've heard mixed opinions on Napoleon. Mostly negative though.
I don't even want to watch it. It sounds like it's gonna be pretentious.
I was already confused. Why would you cast Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon?
Is he even British?
It's not that he's too tall.
No, sorry. Is he even French?
No. He's of course not. He's American. Well, he is 5'8", so he's not. He is still too tall, but it is random at the same time.
I mean, they might as well they should cast Tom Cruise.
Yeah, a little bit better.
Somehow I was taller than Tom Cruise, so that was funny. Yeah. Why can't they just get the original people who made the first Napoleon movie? Not Napoleon, sorry, Gladiator movie. Who wrote the first one?
Isn't that's Ridley?
Oh no, there's like 3 people. Ridley is not a writer.
Oh, you mean writing wise?
Yeah, writing wise. No, fuck that. Ridley can make things look good. I don't like him as a director, but good lord, do not let him be the producer or the writer, or let him have any say on the script.
So technically, one of the writers is not writing this time. He's producing. He's 77 now.
I guess. David Franzoni.
Yes. John Logan is.
And you know what? Get rid of him.
John Logan was in charge of Covenant.
Yeah, no, he's clearly fallen.
Inspector.
William Nicholas. The fuck
William
is
Nicholson.
he? Oh.
He's not been working since 2022.
What a weird combination. I mean, I'm never gonna do Gladiator, but I mean, I would find it funny if Venom 3 is better than this movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Arcane is coming out next week or this week, I think.
I need to look just in case. Arcane season 2 release date. This week, November 7th. Oh, yeah,
very soon.
Very soon.
I'm not sure how we're gonna break that down. We already planned out November in terms of like what we want to talk about. Plus, like I know like they did like the blocks thing. I think Arcane should be fine. I know people are kind of scared. I mean, they've said long before that this is a 2-season. This was a 2-season idea. That means they have a clear way of how they want to end. Because usually that kind of issue is like, oh, we have a season, we get another season. We don't know when it's going to end yet, so we're not going to think about the ending now. But if you know it's a 2-season plan, you should hypothetically know what is it that you're going for.
Yeah,
I think it should be okay.
No, we gotta have fan. Yeah, I mean, I hope it's gonna be good. That's my case.
Yeah, we just need to bring back the last seasons or good seasons.
Yep.
Or normalize that again.
Yeah, pretty much. And what the fuck? Yeah. Of course, we're not gonna talk about Agatha. Holy shit! We're probably gonna mention it in our next pod. Maybe.
Oh, you mean the Penguin Pod?
No, the next one, the one we're doing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're probably gonna mention that. I don't even know what to say about Agatha. I've only seen like 5 episodes. You know, the reveal of like Billy Kaplan is like, Billy Kaplan is like Wanda's kid or something. I was like, how does that work? I don't in universe. And
there's no Mephisto, so there's no reincarnation.
And Aubrey Plaza is like, what, death? It's like I didn't watch the show, just got spoiled. I was like, and apparently this rip off stuff from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. So I'm just saying that Agatha is in love with fucking death for like centuries.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen that conversation. It's like, oh, the MCU wasted their time with Thanos introducing Aubrey Plaza as Lady Death, and you do nothing with that because clearly they didn't have a plan for Lady Death until now.
I
Duh.
mean, why would you pick Lady Death?
To be fair, nothing is comic accurate with Agatha, including herself. So what's the point of caring at that point?
No, I mean, here's the
No, but
thing.
I saw the thing is like she got white hair, so she had to earn her oldness.
Jesus. Yeah. My question is like, who cares about Agatha? I mean, here's the thing. Because people were like, "Oh my God, Catherine Hahn is so good as Agatha." I never subscribed to that, even during WandaVision. And after I finished fucking,
It really is just like you like it because it's Catherine Hahn. It doesn't matter, and I do understand that conversation too. For some people, it's like sometimes people don't really care about like people don't care about comic accuracy. I understand
no,
that,
no, I
but
don't
like
even.
the fact
Here's
that
a
you can get people to like Agatha and she's nothing like Agatha in the comics, and people still like her anyway. It's like why not just try to do that with some of these other characters when you
no.
adapt them?
My question is like, no. I mean, I don't care about comic Agatha. Sorry, but like, but even that was like, oh, Catherine Hahn is so good at Agatha. I was like, you sure? It's like she's just doing the bare minimum. Even in this show, she was like, she's playing like a fucking like a high school Broadway play, not Broadway, high school play. You just like they just do crazy shit on stage.
You know, and honestly, like when that whole WandaVision discussion was talking about like how she was like objectively the good character, like the good person, the morally righteous one, that was not gonna last long because like she's not.
He's
Um
not. I mean, it's just.
like,
I mean,
not at all. I don't know why that was like such a big conversation. I get it,
yeah,
like what Wanda did is really bad. I understand that, but like Agatha's still not a good person.
no,
Even
it's
even
like
if she's trying to do a right action, she's still not a good person.
no. I mean, it's just comparatively, she's not as bad. That's basically That's basically the issue.
Yeah, and then here she's like more evil.
Yeah. I mean, I was only like episode 5. I was like, I don't know, man. I want to kill myself. I mean, it's like this is the first MCU show I don't keep up with it weekly because I just don't have my stamina to do so.
Yeah, I agree. I have lost a lot of like, I used to watch a lot of content. And then I started working, so that is part of the reason, but I also just don't care about the whole Agatha show and all that stuff. So
I mean,
I, like at this point I'm like, okay, there's some people enjoying it. Cool. I probably won't, but just go ahead.
yeah. I mean, I'm just watch now. I mean, I have time now. I mean, I still have to write my essay, but still, I was like, instead of watching Agatha, I just watched the 2 Nickelodeon Addams Family movie. That's basically my time.
I've only seen the first one. I didn't see.
Uh,
I saw the 2019 one.
which I was kind of weird about it because people was like, the second one is worse, and then watch the second one. It's like the second one is not even bad. Like the first one is bad. It's like it's the same issue as like a lot of the movies now. It's just like there's A at B point of everything in the middle is like fucking stupid. And then the second,
Yeah, nothing about. I don't really have an opinion on the first one.
uh, yeah, and then the second one is like there's actually a focus in the second one. They actually did a lot more for the characters, and I mean the third act just kind of just chickens out, but still. I mean, it's like it's better than a Wednesday show. Fuck you. I'm not apologizing. This the Wednesday show has like the worst iteration of the Addams Family and Wednesday.
Justice for one, Claire.
Yay. To be honest, I mean, I'll be surprised if like the second season is like better because the track is like the second movie of every Addams Family is like the better than a predecessor.
My only thing is like, I mean, Jenna has talked about wanting to really go back to its roots, the original Adams family roots, and all that stuff after being detached for so long.
I
I can
mean,
only, going into executive producer, which is crazy. She's 22 and executive producer.
I
Um,
need, uh, I need to look at who's still writing. Oh, who am I kidding? The people who wrote Beetlejuice is writing. Wait,
another
what?
one that I didn't really hate.
I mean, I found it. I mean, I've
It,
seen.
it's
Yeah.
it's more of like I just wish they broke the movie into two different parts because there is like enough content for two different movies out of this one movie. But you know, we
I mean,
talked about that.
I was so frustrated. I was like, the guy who wrote Smallville they just recycled plots from the Wednesday show. I was like, what the fuck, man? You have like all the time to think about it. You can't just write something new.
Yeah, I mean, I it is kind of I will have to say though, like credit to Enid, like with how she was able to like she's such an iconic part of Wednesday now to the point where like she's in all of the marketing. That's pretty like, and the fact that she's not like a character from prior iterations of Wednesday, or I mean of prior iterations of Adam's Family. Uh, to make that much of an impact is pretty impressive. Um, and a lot of credit to Emma Myers.
Yeah, I don't even. I'm just. I mean, I guess so because a lot of the because Adam's Family doesn't even have a lot of impact until until they did it in like 90s. I mean, of course the 60s they did already, and then 90s just add like literally reinvent the entire franchise.
If anybody's curious, like we were talking about like maybe talking about some Halloween stuff since we kind of passed the date. Um, so that was one of the explanations.
Yeah, we need to catch up with some Halloween. That's the Adams Family stuff are basically the only things I watch in Halloween. So, I mean, I don't really like a lot of horror movies. So, and I think
Yeah,
the last horror movie I like is like what The Lighthouse, which is in like 2019.
and it's not like your traditional horror movie.
Yeah. To be
Um,
honest, yeah.
mhm.
It's like whenever people ask what's your favorite horror movie, I just say that The Lighthouse because I literally do not know anything other than I do not know any other horror movie that's as good as that one.
Yeah, I mean, I love Scream 1996. But like I don't treat it like a normal horror movie because that's not really the point of it. And it is Scream is also a franchise that is kind of like it depends on like how you feel about the gimmick, and that's kind of why it gets annoying the longer you keep extending the franchise. There's going to be another Scream movie coming out.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably have to watch the Adams Family Broadway show tomorrow. I'll plan to watch that. I do need to watch a lot more musicals. So I mean, hopefully that iteration is better. It's is yeah. So what Halloween movie did you watch anyways?
uh, probably Alien.
Oh
It's not really Halloween.
oh yeah.
Alien One.
Uh
Um, See, the thing is, like, but some of these like horror movies are like they're not like really they're like horror, but they have like their own niche to them. Like like Predator, for example. Yes, it has horror elements in it, but it is mostly sci-fi,
action.
um, action. And then you have like the original Halloween movies, which I've never really been a fan of any of the Halloween movies. Um, Halloween one is fine. I don't know. It's just never really been my thing watching
Yeah.
those movies.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
mean,
I guess it's just like the whole serial killer aspect. There's only so much you could do with them, and when
uh,
you milk a franchise out of them too, doesn't
uh,
help.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, I rewatched the first Beetlejuice movie not because I want to, just some friends just like, do you want to watch it? It's like, yeah, sure. And then I watched it. I don't think it's as good as I remember it, which is like a month ago, 2 months ago, 1 month ago. Even then, I was like, it's still good. But it's like it's just not as good as I remembered. Especially in the third act, just a lot of shit just happened.
But I don't treat it like a traditional horror movie either, because like it is, it has a lot of Burtonisms in it that makes it fun and quirky.
Yeah, my take is not. It's not even like the. I don't even. I think the best character in that movie. It's not Beetlejuice. Like who's the ghost lady? Was like the Madeline, like the female Madeline.
You mean the receptionist or
No, you know the bride. What's the name called? It's like first Beetle.
Alec Alec Baldwin's wife?
Yeah, that one. I mean, it's
Gina.
like
Gina.
Gina. Yeah, I think she's the best character. I mean, it's like I just kind of missed the one of the details. Like at the beginning, she just like she wants a kid, but and then she just finds it with Wednesday, not Wednesday, Winona Ryder. I just
Mhm.
missed that aspect in the first one. I think that's the only thing that upon rewatch that is better than that is better that holds up better than I remember. And then there's like some plot problems I didn't think about it. But yeah. Uh,
Oh, you know me. I really enjoyed Beetlejuice.
I know.
The
I
first.
I like it, but it just doesn't really. It's just not as good as I remember it. So, I mean, the Adams Family. I watched like what, 5 movies and 2 shows. Somehow I still never watch a stage play. I'll watch a stage play, but still, fucking. I love Adams. I'm people shit on Nickelodeon movies, and they never shit on the fucking Wednesday show. I don't understand what's so good about a Wednesday show. Here's the thing. Do you know Cousin Ed? He's like brought back in like it's like he's an original character invented in like 1964, and they keep brought him back for like the 90s movies and the Nickelodeon ones. The hairy guy.
Hmm.
It's like, and he's actually an original character, and no one, and it's like this is how influential he is. Of course, it's like more hilarious now that the Wednesday show was like, oh, you see, Wednesday is the character that no one that needs that is not focused enough, so we gotta give her the most focus. I was here looking at like, dude, if I mention the Adams Family, even before the Wednesday show, which is the first one you will think of it first?
Wednesday.
Yep.
I mean, people do like the Gomez and Morticia, like that very positive relationship dynamic, which I do appreciate that because, like, especially like you can kind of get really annoyed with how every time you see like a husband and wife character, they like hate each other or like have some type of disdain for each other, but like not Gomez and Morticia. Um, so I do appreciate it for that, especially from the time era that it came from as well. Um, but yeah, Wednesday's gonna be your go-to for a lot of people.
Absolutely. It was like, holy shit. You and there's yeah, trust me. I still want to make like a Wednesday video. It's like I just need to format it differently because I don't want to like break down the entire like episode by episode because like I just want to compare it to other iterations and just generalize it.
I mean, obviously, it's kind of hard to say like what is it. Well, like will Enid be able to have that kind of impact in the future because the show is from 2022, so it's too early to tell like what is her legacy going to be like. But I can see her like being impactful.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question. What did what do you have you seen the Wednesday? So you didn't see the Wednesday show, right?
I've just seen a lot of scene packs. I wouldn't say enough to like know the show.
So okay, so what did people tell you the most when it comes to the Wednesday show? Like anything about Wednesday?
Uh, like you mean like for her characterization specifically, or like just what in general?
Her characterization or just in general? What do you hear the most?
The whole Wen Claire stuff.
Basically.
But like the friendship dynamic of how that kind of like blossoms over the course of the season. I think that's like what people connected with the most. Between, I'm sure it mostly has to do with just Jenna and Emma.
basically. I mean, and the TikTok dance.
The TikTok dance. I mean, they both have them. To be fair.
It's so weird because I was like, okay, so what the fuck do you talk? So it's like there's nothing about the characters they even talked about, like the scenes, Fuck it, they bring back Christina Ricci as one of the characters, and no one talked about it.
She's not mentoring.
Oh, it's sad. It's like, and then you just compare it to like the Penguin right now. It's like everyone just talks about like Sophia and like every scene, like the Penguin is like so cool. I keep hearing different things about the Penguin, and no one. It's like, and then you just go to Wednesday show and just TikTok shit.
Yeah, though I do miss their TikToks that they were making. They were starting so well, and then they stopped making TikToks.
Yep.
In terms of like advertising, I feel like
Yeah.
it was a good idea too, because that was like something that it was like kind of like neat because like there was like this one reference that Wednesday was saying like social media is like it's like a black hole of like that line. And then you have the TikTok of Enid like saying, "Watch my best friend," and then Genesis staring in the camera while you're waiting for Enid to come back. That was just really funny. That would have been nice if they continued that. But I don't know when the show is coming out. I mean, they say early next year. Um,
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna make the video after the show is over or something.
maybe.
Yeah, I need to see how season 2 does first. I mean, I was so unhappy with season 1 already. Of course, everyone ate it up. Because you just need some references, and then you just pop your head off. It's. I mean, I don't even. Here's the thing. I'm not even mad about like because like because the Addams family is like keep it's like constantly reinvented. You can do a lot of interesting stuff with it. Like Addams family, the Nickelodeon one from 2021 actually just like questions like once they adopt a kid or not. That's like that's like interesting. And then the Addams family values have her just like force her into a camp, and she has to like deal with the entire camp and save her family in a ticking clock. And she has to like stop being comforted by other people. It's like a lot of interesting stuff.
Mm.
And it's like, and this show probably did nothing. She just generic character after the first half of the show of the first episode. It's like I don't even and also the fact that they refuse to show like Wednesday doing like some horrifying shit like hair cuttings, like cutting heads, electrocuting Puxley, throwing knives and stuff.
Yeah, there was like the extent that I've seen is like because like the next TikTok that they did make was like Wednesday reading a book about this 35-year-old man who like killed a bunch of people and all that stuff, like like a horror book reading kind of thing. Um, but it's more of like she can say horrible things, but like it's the actions that she's not really doing.
Fucking hell, even the Nickelodeon movies just have her doing a lot of like evil stuff. Like literally, in the second movie, she just literally just like, oh, she just hanging a person on the cliff, and one of the person asked, "What do you do to the person on the cliff?" She said, "I let him go." And I was like, that is like horrifying as shit. I mean, it's like it's paid for a joke, but at the same time, you just realize, oh my god. Like even a fucking Nickelodeon movie do something like this, and the Netflix show doesn't want to do it. What the fuck, man?
I feel like it not like saying it's like a Peter Parker thing, but like I have seen people like whenever people see Peter Parker get angry, people think that's out of character because he's supposed to be happy-go-lucky because of the movies, but then you don't realize that he's supposed to be angry at different times because his life is miserable and all this stuff. So I do feel like I feel like nowadays, like you feel like a lot of desensitizing for some of these characters. I could imagine Wednesday probably had something like that too,
but
where it's like
like
you want to have some of the values of her, but you don't want to have all of that because it might not be well received online.
you're kidding me. What people remember her is like her doing like really cynical stuff while still having like while still caring about her family deep down. It's like I don't think anyone just came out of all Adam's family aside from the 64th person. I was like, yeah, she's a good person. Uh, I mean, it's like I don't think it's like the worst show. Okay, the only reason I don't think it's the worst show is because it's not in continuity and like with a lot of the other stuff. It's just a new stuff. I mean, it's just new stuff I hate, but still. I mean, yeah. I mean, Superman and Lois, man. As Superman and Lois, I have to catch up Superman and Lois season 4. I still haven't watched any episodes yet. Hopefully, it's good.
I'm enjoying it. Um, I guess it's like I'm cool with it in the sense of like I understand that this is the last season, so you kind of have to you feel like they kind of make it clear that this like even the last dance was doing that too, like going back to the topic of the video. Like there was a lot of instances like in the last dance where it's like you get like yeah this is the last movie or like they're the characters are talking like this is the end. We're at the end of our ropes. You know that kind of dialogue. You can kind of see that too in Superman and Lois season 4 because like you have characters talking about this is the end, or like you have characters saying like things are going to change moving forward, that kind of thing. So it's like that stuff is it's just funny when you hear these kinds of dialogues, the meta commentary particularly. But outside of that, it's like it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I,
I
I'm
guess.
I'm more curious about like seeing season 4 in relation to watching all 4 seasons together because I wouldn't mind re binging the show once it's over.
I mean, I'll probably just watch Superman and Lois because here's the thing: I heard nothing about it on Twitter. I mean, I keep hearing like what happened to fucking the Penguin every single week.
There are some things people do enjoy about. I think the issue too is like there was no marketing for Superman and Lois. Like they're not like pushing that show at all. Like they're like as if like you really wanted to push it away and all that stuff. Which I have seen a lot of conspiracy theories on why. You know, because like I mean we already know WB is canceling the show because they don't want to confuse audiences with two different Supermans. But you know, two Batmans is fine apparently. But yeah, but yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I've seen some conversations. Maybe it's because like I do look into Superman and Lois conversations on Twitter, so
I mean,
I do get some recommendations. I mean, people are talking about Jonathan more.
I don't even hear anything. That's my funny thing. It's not even like marketing. It's like it's just a lot. What people care about is like the Penguin. Like every single episode, there's like something cool. Like oh, I love this shot. I love this shot. This is
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people talk about Jonathan Kent because they do something different with him compared to other seasons. I do think I honestly I I do feel bad for the original actor, but I think this one is better. The recast, the recast version of Jonathan.
yeah, probably. And the only thing I heard about is like
He looks more like a twin to Jordan than the other one as well.
probably yeah. I mean, the other thing is the only thing I heard about is like it's like the Dylan Walsh interview. It was like, do you think Gunn canceled the show? It was like, yeah.
Yes, I agree with him.
I can't say anything because that's all I can say. It's like,
I mean,
yeah,
to be fair, they told us that. Like they told us that we're canceling Superman and Lois because we can't have two Supermans. Like WB was like that. I'm sure it's not Gunn's decision himself. I just think that was a WB plan. I find it stupid. It is what it is, but you know.
remember, WB is losing like 40 billion. I wish I was kidding.
WB is just a stupid franchise. Not as it's got to be stupider than Sony. I don't think Sony. Well, Sony is stupid, but like $40 billion in debt is still $40 billion in debt. So
I need how much is Sony in debt? Sony debt.
I'm pretty, I don't know if Sony has a debt. Probably, I would assume so.
Like it's Sony Studio. Does Sony have a debt? Is that Sony as a which Sony is this? I keep googling. It's like the Sonic franchise or the the movie one.
That's
Or
S-
the phone company?
Sony $25 billion.
What's Sony?
$25
Because here's the thing.
billion in debt.
I know 3 companies cost Sony. No, that's the
They're
one
all
from
they're all a part of each other. Like PlayStation, the phones, the movies. They're all under the same umbrella.
holy shit.
But
Then,
yeah,
yeah,
their debt is 25 million.
25
So
billion.
uh billion.
Yeah, that's
So
yeah.
it's about half of Warner Brothers.
Jesus. So Warner Bros. Is like the dumbest one.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, how much is Disney in debt? I'm curious. $46 billion.
48 billion.
You know what? Sony is actually smarter.
Honestly, I think the thing about Sony is like Sony's debt has to factor in like the other products that they have, like the electronics products, like the music products, things like that. So they have like other things that they can branch out to. Disney's debt is like, I guess, like, to be fair, they own a lot of properties, and that's kind of gonna make the debt look bigger. That, to be fair, it's like you can still get out of that by doing better, but that's another
Oh,
conversation. Like WB also has like a lot of properties too, as well.
what the fuck, man? Disney, you have fucking Disneyland.
Yeah. I mean, they've been surging the prices up.
Jesus.
Just get more money from the people.
Hey, remember that the new live action, the new toy for Buzz Lightyear, $600.
That's fucking wild. What happened to all it does is just it does talking, it moves like itself and stuff like that. What happened to just using your imagination?
Yeah, I mean, I show it to like some friends, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to know how expensive the toy is?" And they're like, "It's 50, 60," and then I show him, it's like, "Fucking hell!"
Yeah. Toy Story 5 is coming out.
Do you want to know how much Paramount is in debt?
Can't be that bad.
Oh, 14 billion.
14, so it has the lowest.
Holy shit!
15,
That's how the fuck did Disney and Warner Bros. Has the same amount of debt?
They have more properties. I mean, even WB has like some some land, like not like Disneyland, but like WB has like Universal Studios. Well, not Universal, like like the Harry Potter Wizarding World, things like that. So it has like special locations from their movies and stuff. So I mean, they have like I think it makes sense. They own a lot of properties. Paramount doesn't have as many. I mean, Paramount has Transformers as its like I think that's just their biggest brand. Sonic.
iPhones, the phones, Sony phones, cameras.
Sony has Sony has a lot of electronics too, so that kind of helps. The extent, I mean, Sony has like obviously they have Spider-Man
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Venom movie is gonna make more money. It's not gonna lose money. It's earn money. There's like 300.
It's crossed its broke even.
I saw it's like 300 million already, so it's over 300 million. So it already earned money. So
Yeah, it hit broke even, so it's good. Man, we were talking about Transformers One the
oh,
other day.
I never seen it. So I just don't want to watch it because I was like, wait, what the fuck? It's gonna connect to the Bayformers?
It really isn't. It isn't. It was just it was that producer. He was just yapping.
Yeah, and the other thing is,
They're not related. I
and the other
promise.
thing is, yeah, the director is like what he directed Toy Story 4 was like,
Yeah, you also have the Black Widow writer, but I promise it's a good movie.
maybe when it's on streaming, I'll watch it.
Yeah, though I will say though, it had really bad marketing for sure. It did not have. It was also competing against the Wild Robot from DreamWorks, and the Wild Robot is really good too.
Yeah.
Um,
Probably they should just hire Peter Cullen as fucking as like Optimus again instead of like Chris Hemsworth. That's gonna attract more people.
yeah, but then that will force more of that. Is this canon to the movies or not?
But
If that were to happen.
Peter Cullen has been voicing every single version of Optimus at this point.
Yeah. Did you know that they actually they fought against not having Peter Cullen as the voice, but Michael Bay had to be the one to no, he has to be the voice.
Michael. Actually, I don't hate Michael Bay, so yeah, I can believe that.
Michael Bay is weird, but he has some decent ideas.
And here's the thing: he's not pretentious. He
And
just
he's
like
not
to do.
like he accepts what he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, Peter Cullen, he's a good, I like, he's a good voice actor. He's been voicing Optimus for a while now. It's like, holy shit! Of course, he's got a voice like fucking voice him in the fucking live action.
We can riff a little bit more for another 4 minutes. We'll probably end it. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm just looking at like more credits. Just can't wait to talk about the Penguin. Venom 3. Okay, bad movie by the way, but still, it's better than a lot of movies in 2024. I'm not kidding. In terms of blockbusters.
I will say that honestly, we gotta start putting props to animated movies again. I feel like there is a resurgence of animated movies. It's not as prominent, but honestly, there has been a good amount coming here and there from different studios, not from Disney. I'll clarify with that because Disney's doing Moana 2 next.
And
By the way,
by the way, we completely forgot about Kung Fu Panda 4 is a thing.
yeah, I will say though, if they decided to half-ass Kung Fu Panda 4 to prop up the Wild Robot, then that makes sense to me. It does make sense to me, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because I think that is the case though, because they were working on these projects side by side. So they didn't really have the full team focusing on Kung Fu Panda 4, which at that point, why bother? Especially when it felt like it ended. But you always gotta milk a franchise, I guess.
Probably.
But yeah, I do think there is a resurgence of animated movies again, and that would be nice because it has been a while. I would think.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So it's I don't even know. I need to look at more stuff when it comes to new things. Do you remember like there's Wicked? Wicked.
Wicked is coming out.
I can't wait for it's gonna be a shit. The people were just telling me, it was like, oh my god, it's like the most faithful shit in Broadway adaptation. I was like, yeah, sure, keep lying to yourself. The runtime clearly doesn't justify that. It's as faithful as Mamma Mia. I was like, yeah, I guess I haven't watched a stage play. I've seen the movie. I haven't watched a stage play. It's also as faithful as Chicago. Was like Chicago is quite bad. I mean, I have my take when it comes to Wicked, but still.
Chicago's been the hot take.
Yeah, yeah. I was watching this movie. I was like, oh my god, am I watching Gotham City? And of course, like, I mean, the setting is like weird. I mean, it's like, I mean, they try to just like, oh, it's just a sympathetic character. I was like, yeah, sure, keep lying. I mean,
Uh,
I'll probably just announce my take of Wicked when we actually break down Wicked.
yeah. So for those that are still listening, we're appreciative of everybody who supports the Another Reviews Corp podcast. Again, we're having our 1 year anniversary of having the podcast up. Um, so for this month, we're going to be talking about next week is going to be like this week later this week we're going to talk about a anniversary movie. Uh, so be on the lookout for what that was. We'll also talk about Penguin, the full breakdown of Penguin. Then we'll have another anniversary video. Then we'll talk about Wicked Part 1. And then we'll start December off with Moana 2.
Oh, well, totally not gonna be shit.
We got some good things sprinkled here and there. So
Yep. I mean, I
it's not
can't
gonna
wait.
be it's not gonna be unbearable for the month.
Oh, the Penguin is really good so far.
And our 2 anniversary movies are good too.
Oh, I'll set out one of them because you can't force me. I just don't want to. I just don't want to watch even more stuff.
Yeah, that's fun. So yeah, that was Venom: The Last Dance. I'm tired of this franchise. Craven is gonna be ass.
Probably, yeah, it's gonna be. I would be surprised if it's gonna be like as bad as Phase 5.
I think Craven is the last superhero movie of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and then we got like nine Marvel projects next
Right.
year.
You wanted to talk about that.
Oh my god, I want to kill myself just by thinking about that.
Yeah,
It's
what
like,
happened? What happened, Mr. Iger, about we want to focus on quality, not quantity?
I guess he just does ignore all
The
the
only
anime.
the only thing I can say, to be fair, is that some of these projects were supposed to come out during these last 2 years, 3 years, and then they had to be pushed back. So I can understand that maybe they all just ended up dropping next year for that reason. I don't know if that's entirely true. It's something that I could see being a possibility, but
Why
yeah,
can't you just cancel them? That would actually save you
now
more
that,
money.
now that is a question for sure.
Yeah, I was like, who the fuck wants a Wakanda show or
All right,
Marvel
I
Zombies?
guess. Oh wait, I think we were also talking. I don't. You saw the special breakdown, right?
The which one?
I wanted to react to it, but I feel like it's too late to do that now.
No, I haven't seen the trailer, so
Yeah. Do you want
do
to do?
you?
Do you want to do a short of that? Because I did want to kind of talk about some of the things that were in the teaser.
Sure, we can just make a video
But
on
we'll
that.
do it. We'll do it that some other time.
We can do that. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I just seen like the fucking Yaya Abdul Martin II just dressed up as the weekend for some reason. I was like, jeez. I mean, I haven't I haven't. It's just an image. I haven't seen any like movements. I was like, what
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fuck,
yeah.
man?
I get that. Yeah, I think we'll do that because I think there's like a good amount of stuff in it that we could talk about from the other 9 projects that are coming out next year. So
Fuck you, Iger. Fuck you.
yeah, I think we'll do that. So yeah, that was Venom: The Last Dance. You ready? Say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye. Trust me, I'll be surprised if like anything next year in Marvel MCU is gonna be better than Venom 3, which is not even a high bar.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a lot better see this. I mean,
What is my? I guess my guess is probably Daredevil's like is easy.
they hire a bunch of CW writers for that.
Yeah, I want to focus on that conversation in that trailer breakdown. I really want to do that trailer breakdown.
Yeah, I didn't watch the trailer. I just look at like who are hired. It's like Arrow first. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, we'll save this for the trailer breakdown. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Unity Review and Analysis. We also keep the podcast on Another Reviews Corp podcast. Please subscribe to that channel. We'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to Red Devil Reviews for more content. I have been kind of really delayed on my videos that I wanted to drop because I have started work and I've been kind of in and out in terms of when I can edit, when I can't. So I'm trying my best. I'm hoping to get a video out by Tuesday, the election day. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens. So yeah, subscribe to everything, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.